Yahoo! Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the EnteR ChazmaN podcast, where, as always, this is your favorite place to hear all the up-to-date video game news and other sorts of things that kind of arouse me and me and my friends. If you would like to hear any of the audio podcast locations, feel free to look on screen. We have them right there. Check out any video highlights throughout the week, and any questions or suggestions or anything you guys have for us, feel free to leave down in the comments or on any of the social medias. So I just want to say a very special happy Halloween to everybody. We hope all of you are having a great time. I've got lots of candy throughout the day. My friends I've just let out of the spooky basement. What's going on, guys? How have you been since the last episode?
Doing all right. I forgot to mention you've released us in real time. This is our first live podcast, so
Oh yeah.
kudos. We're trying to get into this cool technological age.
How did you like the lights? I put some Halloween lights on down there for you guys.
Nice. It sets the mood, sets the tone. But,
Mm.
no, I mean I'm doing okay. My week has been crazy, as I'm sure yours has as well. Cause you did some traveling, didn't you, Chaz?
I did. I got back from vacation for a special birthday for me. So yeah, I got to go to New York City. I know you got to go to somewhere crazy as well.
Yep, went out to Vegas. I tell you, we barely made it though. Day before, day of, we were ready to fly out. Daughter snapped her arm in half, pretty much. So that was a fun, fun hospital trip. But we made it.
Whoa!
Yeah, I know. I'd show you the picture, but I think it's too gory even for Halloween. Anyways, but yeah, we made it to Vegas. Went to that When We Were Young festival, so that was exciting because I'm getting up to be an old man now. So it was nice to relive my youth a little bit. So good times.
There you go. Yahoo! How have you been, gamer, since our last episode?
Pretty good. Had a couple of shows recently, some Halloween shows, and we did pretty good. I can't complain. Went down to Florida and just kind of rocked out in a few places.
Nice, yeah.
All right.
So
Again,
can't really complain.
if you haven't checked out any Inner ChazmaN or ChazmaN podcasts, Metal Gamer is the one responsible for my awesome theme song. So yeah, I say thank you. And down in the comments, thank you for his awesome music work. So yeah, I guess just for some of our stuff we have lined up for today, we have a couple of games that I have two games and Metal Gamer has a game. I think Phoenix mentioned he hasn't been able to really get to touch any video games as of late.
Yeah, nothing really. It's been, it's a crazy couple of weeks.
hmm So then, yeah, we go into that. We're going to move right into our highlights from the Horde, which is our new kind of topic we started the previous episode. And then we got some speedrun news. There's a couple meaty things that kind of happened and be kind of interesting to get into. And then something new, I figured we have yet to do a tier list on the show. So yeah, I figured why not? Well, let's do a favorite Halloween candy, tier list, which we'll wrap everything up with. So I don't know. What did you guys want to start with? You want to pick a game?
I want, let's see. I know, Metal, you played something, right?
Yeah, I played a little bit of Signalis, I think it's called, and it's a really strange game. It's almost like a top-down type of horror puzzle game. So, with the little bit of time I had throughout the last couple of weeks, I played a little bit of it, and you start off by uh, getting out of a cryo chamber and checking around the death that's around you. It's a mystery horror game, so that's a um, pretty interesting game for the most part. I haven't gone too far into it for me to be able to even rate it as much, but for when
Mm-hmm.
it seems like a 7-hour game. So I really want to get into it a little bit more, and it just gives it a really nice dark vibe,
The art
Got
style
which I
is
thought
really
was pretty
cool.
cool.
it's
Like,
got
It's
tank controls from Resident Evil. That's interesting.
yeah, it's a very very strange game. It just came out like last week actually,
Hmm.
so pretty neat. I love the art style. The art
yeah.
style is beautiful,
It's like
and the
PS1 style, but almost like pixel graphics too. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's pretty good. I like that.
No, it
yeah,
looks like Silent Hill kind of in a weird way.
yeah,
Like, does it
it's
actually
very strange.
control like a tank game, or is that just like the look of it?
That's just the way it looks.
So, how does it actually like move around? Is it like a twin stick kind of thing, or like?
It's just it's single stick running back and forth, up and pretty much up and down, left right. It's all top down,
That's
and
interesting.
then yeah, so it's a pretty fun game for what it is.
It looks like Metal Gear Solid mixed with like Silent Hill or something.
When I first saw it, I thought it was like a Metroidvania type style, but no, not
Hmm.
even close. Not even close. It's pretty. It's
What do
spot
you
on what you were saying.
what are you playing this on? Is this PC or Game Pass or?
I was playing it on Game Pass. They had it for
Hmm.
free on Game Pass. It's a $20 game right now.
They got a lot of good
Like,
stuff on there.
oh yeah. So like, if I had to, for the little bit that I played it, if I gave it a rating, I think I would give it like a good solid 8.
Well,
It's very engaging.
how much have you played of it so far? You say?
I would say about like 2 hours, give or take. So, and it's not a lot. So I really want to give it a little bit more time before I can give it a real rating.
Sure.
Yeah,
But
fair enough.
it's really fun for what it was. So if you haven't like, if you're looking for like a horror game, something a little bit off, not boo, boo style, it's a pretty interesting suspense game. I
How
would
is
say.
the how's the story? Is it like fairly linear or does it feel like you have no idea kind of what's going on in this weird, wacky
If
world?
you wouldn't have no idea, you have to actually like kind of run around, figure out what's going on. You there's a lot of like you find out that people are dead, and you gotta figure it out from there. And there's diaries, there's things you can pick up, and you just gotta figure out what's happening.
I'm a little
So you
unsettled that
kind
you laughed when you commented that other people were dead. So
of yeah, kind of fitting for you know, Pig Ganon, right?
yeah. I don't think I'd get Pig Ganon from your outfit. I don't know.
No,
There's not enough
no.
candy, but
Yeah.
if you had like an orange wig, I think that would really set it off.
I kind of wanted to get like if I had a purple like thing, it would like a purple like cape. I think it would work better.
Yeah, I think that would have helped. I mean, the
But
pig face, is a good
yeah,
start though.
eh,
I'd be
one thing
curious
at
if
a time.
anybody in the comments can guess my costume. It's probably a little irrelevant, obscure at this point.
I know the character. I don't remember the name of the what was it like a YouTube movie or it's like a
Oh,
fan
yeah.
film?
Oh
I'm disappointed
man,
in you,
come on,
Chaz.
man.
I know it was Hacker Guy or Hacker Man
Hacker
or
guy,
something.
hacker man. Come on, I'm a man, not
They're
some guy.
they're making a second
I
one. I
know.
mean, it's just been in the making for like the last few years.
Kung Fury. Yeah, if you
Kung
haven't
Fu.
watched it,
Oh, I forgot.
highly
Yeah, I forgot the
recommended.
name.
It's probably David Hasselhoff's best work.
Hmm.
But no.
Main
Alright.
thing I remember
M-
is Crazy Hitler and Arcade
Triceracop,
Machine.
the arcade
Arcade
machine.
Arcade
Yeah,
Machine. Yeah.
there's some classic stuff in that one. So,
Mhm.
very cool though.
Triceracop.
The tone on that game looks really cool. I'd be interested just for the art style alone. So maybe I'll
It,
get
it
around
looks
to
like
checking it
a
out.
it looks like an anime Silent Hill. I'm kind of digging it.
That's what caught me to begin with. Like I saw the art style, I was like, "Ooh, that looks really cool." And then I saw, "Oh, horror." I was like, "Oh, that looks pretty cool for what it is." I mean,
Hmm.
for this time, perfect.
Oh, most definitely.
Yep.
Cool.
I'm curious to hear about Scorn. That's what I want to hear about.
Let's move. Let's go. I'll save Soma then. Let's go right into Scorn then. Man. All right. Let me move over.
Oh boy.
So I gotta hold on. I gotta
I did
take the
actually watch you
mustache
play most of this one. So.
mustache off for this one. E E. So Scorn. I'm trying to think of the pros from this game. I mean, it definitely is it's a game for puzzle nuts. People that love puzzles, like, because I can't recommend the combat. I thought the combat in this game was, I don't want to say atrocious, but it was definitely not what I was expecting. Um, I mean, really, those are like the only main aspects of the game are the puzzles, the combat, the combat only really is in like one act of because this game's like 5 acts, and the combat section is only heavy in one of them, and I actually think that might have been maybe my least favorite section was the section that involved combat. Because even though I hate
Hmm.
puzzles, I suck at puzzles, don't enjoy them. At least in this game, the puzzles were like interesting, and it is very like intriguing how the weird like body horror and weird and way the anatomy of the whatever you are interacts with like the tech and the electricals and everything within the game. Like it's kind of interesting, but it's not interesting. I don't know. I'm trying to find it hard to explain this game. It's like, because I think from what I could kind of get from the story is you play as a some sort of creature that awakens in like bygone of a society. Like your society is gone. All that is like all of these weird um leftover workings and machinery, and there's just these weird virus looking thing that's starting to spread throughout, and it's kind of consuming everything. And I tell you, all the way through the game, I never really understood what was happening. Like, how much of my stream did you say you watched?
A good amount of it. Like there was some in the middle I know I skipped. But I mean it wasn't like it was a long game anyway, so I feel like out of the
No.
I don't know how many hours you played, I probably saw 3 to 3.5 hours of it. It was like a 5 hour game, wasn't it?
Yeah, like I finished in like 5.5, I think. But
Yeah.
like, yeah, again, I wasn't sure what exactly to take away. Like I didn't exactly feel like I built any sort of bond with, that's
Mm-hmm.
normally a pretty big aspect of a game is building a bond with your protagonist. And this thing, it didn't really emote. I mean, maybe it's a first person, so maybe that's the point. I don't know. But yeah, I didn't really build a connection with him. You don't. There's really no NPCs that you really build any sort of connection with, and the story just left. It answered absolutely nothing, and I don't know. Maybe some people will like that, but it just wasn't. Like the body horror stuff is cool, but once you see it for like 45 minutes, you're like, okay, I kind of
Well,
get it.
it's like an interactive art piece more than maybe the standard kind of gameplay loop that I think most are familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. A game like this, I think, is an interesting kind of topic for people like to, well, not like to, but games are art, and that's always been a discussion to
It's
be
an
able to come
interesting
back to.
concept. It's just,
Well, I guess what I'm
I
getting at
mean,
is like games as a medium is a relatively new art form, and kind of defining what leans it more towards an artistic creation versus like a game itself. Like this leans very much into this is art, right? It's something you're trying to experience. Like the visuals, of course, are kind of the focus of it. The gameplay itself is less so. So, do you then knock it for not being as much of a video game because it doesn't have as much gameplay, or are you leaning on the fact, well, oh, it's making up for that for the artistic endeavors it's going for? Like, I don't know. I see what you're saying. Like the gameplay is definitely lacking. At least that's how I felt when I was watching you kind of run through it.
problem is like even for me, the artistic endeavors, as you were saying, they don't really change that much throughout the game. I mean,
To one note
uh,
for you.
it's very one note. Like, and that's part of the that's something maybe that might have been a problem on me with like expectations, where it's like, yeah, I was getting into it, and I'm like, oh yeah, I want to see some HR Geiger stuff, and it's like, no, this whole game is like legit HR Geiger stuff. That's all
Mm-hmm.
it is. It's just that kind of stuff. I mean, like,
There's clearly
I heard,
some theme and narrative they're trying to get across as far as like reproductive, et cetera, et cetera. 'Cause, I mean, this whole society was built upon that. You could tell just based upon some of the
yeah.
architecture at the end, but how they viewed it, like there is a message here, but it's definitely open to a lot of interpretation. And
Well, if
Geiger's interpretation of reproduction is pretty
yeah,
rough. So.
I mean, I did kind of like what I could grasp from the story is that you play some sort of being from some sort of ancient civilization that has been engulfed by again a virus or something that's spreading, and the previous civilization that I guess you were a part of, they were very in sync and harmonious with using body, their bodily functions and
Mm-hmm.
bodily fluids to help that's all the mechanicals work in this world. And again, there's some sort of virus I mean, they do kind of explain that in the story that the whatever these beings were, they were experimenting with, creating beings, or like you were saying, like birthing
Mm-hmm.
things. I mean, there's some sort of experimentation. So I don't know if it ever references that something went wrong and there's some sort of mutation or what. And then I don't know. Like you were saying, the game is all about the art style, and like that's fun for a little bit, but for me personally, it couldn't keep me wholly engaged throughout. Like I felt like after Act Two, I was like, okay, I'm done with this game.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah,
What
I
about?
mean,
Are you guys interested in it or?
not after watching it. I mean, I don't know. I'll let Metal say. Did you watch any of either his Let's Play or any other Let's Plays of it? Like,
I mean, after you mentioned it like in one of our chats, I was like, oh man, that's kind of a bummer. Like,
Again, like I don't know. It just wasn't for me. I mean,
mm-hmm.
I think someone who I think this game is perfectly tailored for puzzle people. If you love puzzles and you like, I don't know. I don't want to throw a name out there like The Witness or something. If you like games that are heavy on puzzles, this is your game because there's a lot of like puzzle elements and.
Yeah, I
But
wouldn't
again,
say
though,
The Witness. Like, these are like
maybe
more open
something.
environmental puzzles. They're puzzling,
Yeah.
but not like Witness puzzles. But I get what you're saying. Like,
Mm.
someone who wants some light puzzling or, medium puzzling, but really wants to take in the atmosphere. So,
And part of the reason why these puzzles are so kind of interesting is because you're in such an alien, different world that
mm-hmm.
you have no idea how the machinery functions, and you have no so like it makes the intrigue of figuring out how solving the puzzles. It makes it more interesting because you have no idea how anything, functions in this world. So
Right. Yeah, I don't personally have a lot of interest in playing it. Like, I mean, just from watching it, I got my fill. I think I was kind of in the same boat as you. But I guess, like, I've seen so many people online talk about how bad this game is. I don't know if that's the right way
it's
to
not
define
bad.
it. Yeah.
No.
Like, I think it's very much one of those things that they were trying to go for a very particular thing. Whether that thing was for you. And I think the catch, too, is that they're leaning more on the art environment and very much less so the gameplay loop, if you will. And if you play a game for primarily a decent gameplay loop, you're not going to get that out of this.
It
So,
most definitely. Oh, sorry. I'll tell you.
no, that was it.
I was just gonna say it most definitely is not forgettable. Like the body horror aspect and the art style and all that, it is extremely memorable, but it's not. I wouldn't necessarily call it fun,
That's
but
fair.
I don't know
Now,
if I had to throw a or good.
no, I was gonna say, so the game was what, like 5.5 hours,
Mm-hmm.
and that's still not real long. But do you think you would have had a better impression if the game would have only been like 3 hours, or would that upset you more because then you feel like you didn't get anything out of the game?
Um, I don't feel like it overstays its welcome. I feel like right when it starts getting at about like the 4 or 5 hour range, that's when you're like, all right, time to wrap this up. And when you start wanting that, it kind of happens. So I don't know. I don't feel like it's too short. I don't think it's. I definitely don't hope it was longer. But I considering it was a Game Pass title, and I didn't have to spend like full price 34. Because I couldn't imagine if you spent more than 30 or $40 on this. I think you might be disappointed a little bit. I don't know.
Fair enough.
I guess just to throw a score on there. I mean, I don't know. I'd give it like a. I don't want to say like 5 or 6. Like if five's average,
I feel like this kind of game is so hard to score though, because once again, like somebody's probably gonna love this game, and
somebody's doing
are the
weird
things
stuff
they
to this game.
do like? I guess and I've heard this discussion going around too. Like, even though like the gameplay is light, does that mean any of the gameplay decisions they made were bad decisions? Like they were clearly trying to go a very different direction, so it might not have been your style of game, your niche, but it doesn't mean it was a bad choice necessarily. I don't know. It's a weird thing because clearly this has been a divisive game when you're looking at like reviews and forums and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Some people really do love it. Like they're ranking this like their game of the year, and then other people are
Wow.
like, Once again, it's how do you define a game and like how do you define art? When do they blend? Like this game is leaning very much more towards the artsy side and less of the gamey side. Like I don't know. It's an odd conversation to have, and this one I think is one of those games that just really skews one direction, which is really going to alienate those who don't really dig this particular artistic take. So
You can sling spaghetti on the wall though and call that a game.
okay.
Okay.
Okay. It probably looked
I
like
don't know.
Scorn too. Nice and
yeah.
Probably if you make it gory enough, it might look like one.
yeah.
I just think.
I don't-
Or sorry, good.
No, I was gonna say I think you would get sick of the art style after a while.
Oh, yeah.
Like after looking at it over and over, I'm just like, you know what? I could see how it would be interesting in the beginning, and then it just kind of just
It's
dies
it's
off.
Like I
one
said,
of
it's
those
only
things
5
where you-
hours. That's not that
Yeah,
long.
yeah,
Most people
not
are going to beat
much.
that in an afternoon, so it might be a little one note, but it's over before it's said and done. So isn't that fine? I don't know. I'm playing devil's
definitely
advocate here. I'm
is-
sorry.
It definitely overloads you though. Where like when you go into this game, you're like, yeah, I want to see some body horror, and then like couple hours in, you're just like, all right, just dial it back just a little bit. Just no, I don't know.
It's definitely it's quite much.
I just think it's very niche. It's gonna end up being a very niche title where, like you said, some people are gonna freaking, like you said, it'll be game of the year, I'm sure, to some person out there. But I don't know.
I guess this is what I'm getting at. Is like games are such a broad medium now. Like it's hard to define them or rank them the way you used to in some cases. You get games like this that I don't think you can arguably or objectively say they are bad. They're definitely not for everybody. Clearly, probably not a majority of people, but I don't think there's anything inherently bad about what this game is. It's just leaning a very particular direction that's not going to cater to everybody. But for those who really are into it, it's going to be, you know, right up their alley.
It definitely makes me appreciate something like the movie Alien a little bit more, where like that movie I definitely appreciate the idea of taking some H.R. Geiger influences and putting it into something rather than just
Not going
outright
crazy.
attempting to recreate Geiger stuff. Like I don't know.
Geiger's stuff is intense, man. Like if you like look at his like, you know, whole, you know, archival of, you know, art, it's gross. It's a gross thing to get into.
Look at how much of a weirdo Lovecraft. Look at some of the stuff into that guy.
Yeah, some people are all about it, but either way.
All right, well that was Scorn. So we're gonna move to, now we're gonna move to like an actually in-depth and immersive experience.
Okay, let's see.
This is actually a game you recommended, but we're gonna move on to a game I got to play called Soma before I left on vacation. And
Before you get into it, Metal, have you seen or heard anything about Soma?
I have not. So this is gonna be fun.
Okay.
I almost don't want to ruin it. If are you gonna play it?
Probably not.
Okay, cool.
You should at least watch a Let's Play. So I'll be fair, I'm not going to go into anything detailed, but like I never actually played it. I watched somebody else play it. And honestly, for this kind of game, as much as I hate to say it, that's sufficient. I don't think having to play this game is required to get a lot out of it. So even after we talk about it, I would highly recommend watch Chaz's Let's Play or someone else's, like maybe definitely someone else's.
It has to be. I think it has to be experienced. I think it really is. It's. I don't know. I don't even know how to explain this. Like it was such a great experience, but like also in a way, I think you mentioned it during my stream or some point, but like. It's almost similar to Scorn in the fact that like it's not very gamey, if that makes any sense. Like from what you've seen in terms of like streams, like it feels very cinematic. And
it's almost a walking simulator, or not walking simulator, but you know, narrative walking. It's a narrative. Like really, it falls in line a lot with the gameplay elements of something like Scorn. But I think what this does, I hate to say better than Scorn, but probably so. The narrative is a lot more clearly expressed.
Incredible.
Yeah. Well, you got voice acting and everything, which helps a lot. Whereas Scorn is all just environmental. Period. So, and this I think has something very different, a little more specific to say, maybe. So I don't know, but I'll let you give it into. I'm sorry, I'm hopping in too soon.
No, you're good. I would just say, kind of starting off with how the game originates is you play as this character named, who was it, Simon Jarrett, I think.
Simon.
And he you wake up in his apartment. You kind of come to in his apartment. He's just been in a terrible accident where his girlfriend was killed, and he has some sort of very critical brain trauma. He has like a terminal injury to his brain, so he's constantly in searching of some sort of medical relief, some way of curing himself. But as it turns out, he's terminal, so he really has nowhere to go. So he is offered somehow by, I don't remember the character's name. I think he was like Chun or something. Chun something. I don't remember
the doctor. You're talking about the doctor's name
doctor,
at the very beginning?
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter.
And there's this doctor, though, that extends some sort of offer to him that, like, listen, what you could do is, if you want to help people in the future, offer us your brain, and when you pass, we'll be able to look at it and, study it and figure out, maybe some sort of way of helping people in the future.
Well, it's not so much they want his brain; they want a brain scan. And that's kind of important. It's not like they waited for the guy to die and start poking his brain. Like, There was a point in the game, I know I'm hopping in, but the character had went to this doctor to hopefully get some kind of treatment for his injury. He's like, well, you know, in case this doesn't work, we can do a scan of your brain right now, because they're doing like some artificial intelligence kind of stuff with it. And they're like, it will help kind of develop this system I'm working on. So like in this office, they scan his brain, and then the game takes a turn.
Yeah, basically he comes to in like a strange, like underwater facility, and that basically is kind of the game. You know, as he's going through, he's coming into contact with, I mean, you know, there's not really any people around, but he comes into contact with. I think the very first time he meets actually something to talk to, it's actually like a machine that thinks it's a human, and it's talking to him, and like it's a really interesting dialogue where like the machine is like, or Simon keeps saying, "Oh, you know, are you human, or what? You know, who are you?" And the machine is just convinced that it is a human and stuff. And what's really great about it is like he goes into the next room and he actually sees the body of the machine's former self, that it actually thinks, you know, that it's still alive. And I don't want to like ruin things, but like, yeah, that's a lot of the game is like him trying to kind of figure out what's going on. And then as he keeps going, he meets the Catherine character, and basically they're in a world where like what is it, 100 years after the events of 2015, you know, a giant meteoroid or asteroid hit the earth. Everything above sea level is basically gone, and this Catherine character has she has like what is she has like an arc that she's trying to create with all of these. She's trying to take the like you were saying, kind of scans of people, and trying to take their consciousness, put it onto an arc, send it out into space, so that there is something remaining of the human race. You know, something for, I don't know, somebody in the future to find, or some other race or something. I don't know. But
it was her way of preserving humanity. So the whole point is like, at this point in the game, your main character Simon has no idea what's going on. All you know is you're in this basically dystopian underwater base where all humans are gone, except for like this one other character you know of. So these other characters down there are trying to find a way to preserve what's left of humanity, which they think is just by scanning everybody's brains, putting them in this computer simulation, and then sending them out. So at least your consciousness exists somewhere out there in the ether. So that's kind of the objective you're sent on throughout the game.
Well, the objective is ultimately to reach the arc, which they initially got sent into space, but it failed on its initial trajectory. So you have to go find the arc, which is somewhere in like way down in the abyss, somewhere on the other side. And basically on your way there, you are constantly hassled by this AI program called the
WoW.
What was it called? The WoW, yeah. And basically what's so fascinating about this game is it's not a contradiction. It's the similarities between this WoW AI being and what Catherine wants in the arc is the WoW initially, before, you know, the asteroid hit, its main protocol was to ensure that the humans living under the water just continued on. You know, they lived on. It was making sure all of the facilities were operating, functioning properly. And basically, once the asteroid hit, the WoW, I guess just because things have changed, the WoW decided to shift its view of how to continue on. So basically, you have Catherine, who's trying to put all the consciousness on the arc, send it into space, so there's something remaining of humanity. And then you also have the WoW, which is attempting to do the same thing, but it's trying to like fuse human cells or human bodies with structure gel, which is like this gel that's found deep in the water. It's kind of what they use to fill in everything.
How much have you catching of this metal? Because your big face is kind of hard to read.
There's so much.
I'll tell you, I don't know if doing a synopsis of this game is going to do it any justice.
It's not going to do it justice.
If you try to go plot by plot beat, there's just so much. I mean, I'm sure you're getting there, but the whole gist of this game is trying to define what it means to be human, what is life. Because in this whole underwater dystopian, there are very few examples of living humans. There's one example where there's a human, physically she's alive, but she's like, this WoW creature has strapped her down, like glued her to this like the wall, essentially.
Air sac thing that's like keeping her lungs going.
So she is physically alive, but she's not really living at that point. So once again, the WoW creature thinks it's serving its job, keeping him alive. That's also why in some cases you'll see robots that have brain scans loaded into them. They thought, oh, I could, preserve humanity by taking these old scans of people's brains and putting them into robot form, because then these people are living, because, their consciousness is there. But is it really? Like, that's the whole big kind of, ethical, moral, existential debate that's happening in this game, is how do you define something being alive? And I don't know if you've kind of caught on to where this whole game's going. It's a big twist, but do you want to go to it, Chaz? Because I don't think you've said it yet.
Well, I kind of wanted to shift over. I mean, I guess it leads there, but I wanted to shift over to the Simon character, who he's like very integral. He's actually the ultimate. He's the. I don't know. Are we doing spoilers? I don't want to throw, but
you kind of have to at this point, otherwise the conversation's not gonna be able to go anywhere.
Yeah, Simon essentially is the origin of everything that's going on within the story of the game, because there's a really interesting section where they need to get some sort of security access in order to further progress, to get some sort of submersible to go and deep into the ocean, and there's a section where they have to get a security access from this brain scanned former security person who works or used to work there. And basically what they want to do is they're trying to trick this his like brain, or they're trying to trick. It's so crazy. I'm like getting tongue tied, but they're trying to trick him to give them the security information. But the problem is that the brain in that form, or the consciousness in that form, is so easily it can go off track and kind of go crazy on itself, because it doesn't know what it is. It doesn't know where it's at. It has like no base understanding of what is happening. So
basically, I'm not trying to cut you off, but it's just,
no.
I know it's hard to explain. So these scans, I mean, it's basically if you could take your brain and load it into a program, and then when you turn the program back on, it thinks it's you, because it doesn't know it's a program. So that's kind of what's happening here is they have to load up this program with this old security admin to try to trick this program to tell them this passcode. But the thing is, the program has no idea he's a program. He thinks he's the actual person who was scanned in the first place. So you're almost going through this torture scenario, which is kind of awful, because
you're birthing and killing him.
You're loading his brain back up, tricking him, and then when you don't get the result you want, you kill his brain off again, essentially. But then there's a moral question: are you killing him? Because he's literally, or his consciousness is literally ones and zeros at that point. So should you feel bad about that? Should you not? I mean, I'm just loading up a program, loading up like an AI program, essentially.
And also, when they're loading him to make him comfortable, to give them information, they're loading like protocols of like showing his former girlfriend, and they're trying to use a fake form of his girlfriend to give him information. And it's like, is this ethical? You're tricking someone using family members or people they care about in order just to try and get some information.
But are you tricking someone? I mean, it's a computer. It's just like it's like when you try to log into Google 100 times, you keep forgetting your password. Like, I mean, are you torturing Google by giving them the wrong password every time? Like,
yeah, the game definitely pulls on your heartstrings, especially because you see people emotionally, even though you're not sure if they're people or not. Emotionally, though, you're seeing some sort of reaction. Now, whether that is like a reaction due to code, like you're saying, coding, or if that's legitimate, a reaction, that's it's tricky. But essentially,
the game blurs the lines.
Yeah. But where all that essentially comes into play is the Simon character. So basically, Simon, the scientist at the beginning of the game, in current times, Simon essentially is the draft, right? He's essentially the first consciousness that's been that's on record. So basically, the horrifying aspect is that Simon basically was the experiment that kind of led up to all of this future technology and all of this uploading and re-uploading of consciousness and all this experimentation. So basically, it's like, geez, how many times have they done this with Simon? Like, Simon has to have had this happen to him thousands of times, millions of times, and it's like, kind of scary, you know. I mean, he to know that, like, I mean, but he kind of agreed to it. But what did he agree to? I don't know. Very, very interesting.
I think to
Um,
kind of bring this on, you kind of have to go to the big twist, essentially. It's not like an in-game twist, but Simon's realization kind of, halfway through the game.
well, because Simon throughout the whole game is like he's constantly hoping. He's constantly hoping to get out of the nightmare, get out of whatever's going on around him. And every time he progresses and has to do something, there's a couple times that Catherine tells him, like, okay, so what's going to happen is you can't actually send a consciousness. What we can do is we can create copies. So there's a couple times where he gets copied into another body, and it, I don't know. I think, I'm trying to think of how to.
Hold on, I think you maybe glossed over an important part.
Hmm.
So the whole thing started. Simon is physically in a doctor's office, gets scanned, and then he immediately wakes up in this underground facility. For the first third of the game, Simon thinks he's a real person.
He thinks he's a human.
Yeah, you might get the
actually,
catch. About an hour or two in, he realized he's a robot with his scan thrown in his brain. So the real Simon had died, 100 years ago or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's where the game really kind of, shifts things, or really kind of does a good mind trick with you. Like, I think most of us, when we're thinking about, like, that security guide is being loaded up, at least me personally, that doesn't seem like a big deal to me, right? It's just like, it's a program starting up, being turned on and off, on and off. What the game does a really good job of doing is they put you in the shoes of Simon, and you project yourself onto him for the first, like, hour of the game, not knowing he's not a real person. So you spend like 2 or 3 hours thinking he's a real person, projecting your kind of interaction with the protagonist onto it, and then they throw that big switch on you, be like, oh, by the way, you're also a scam. So then it starts making every other scan you interact with seem more real. Whether you believe that or not is at your core values. That's the real big kind of mind trick that the game is playing on you. They try really hard to tie you to the fact of your humanity as the player tied to the scam, and it shifts things a lot.
Now another thing that's super, like, I felt that really built a connection, makes you connect with Simon, is the fact that Catherine, like, she never really tries to, like, pull the wool over his eyes. She's not tricking him. She's constantly telling him, or she constantly mentions that, like, you can't move consciousness. We can only make copies and stuff, and and Simon constantly goes with it every time, and he thinks he keeps thinking that he's going to be saved and sent somewhere. But it's like, I think what they're trying to say is that, like, because he's in such a hopeless situation, like, his brain has no, it has to reach for something, it has to grasp, he has to have something to hope for. And, like, I don't know, they kind of make him seem like a dummy, the fact that he keeps looking past it. But, like, I kind of look at it as though, like, I don't know. Again, he has to have something to go for. He has to have a goal, and
we gotta think about the context of it too. Like, I mean, people looking at it from the outside, but if this was you and you woke up in this game thinking you were alive, the game is not a very long game. It's like 8 hours. How long would it take you to actually accept the fact that you weren't a real person? Like, if right now, 8 hours from now, someone said, "Oh, by the way, you're not a real person," would you accept that? Like, would your mind allow you to do so? At that
point, you still wouldn't believe it.
Yeah, and even, like, I mean, there's proof and there's examples as Simon goes through this game being like, well, clearly things aren't quite right. And I mean, I think there's one point if I looks down at his hands and see he has robot hands. So, I mean, there's clear tells there. But your brain plays tricks on you. This guy has not had a lot of time, clearly not physically, but with his little robot brain to accept what's happening around him and process it. So whenever these cues come up, being like, okay, now you're not actually going to move your consciousness, you're just going to copy it somewhere, it doesn't click. And that happens a few times, but the game, once again, is really subtle. There's one spot, I think you mentioned it, or you're about to. You have to copy your consciousness, Simon's, into a different body so we can get to a different, like, depth in the sea, because the other body is like in a special suit or something. But at first that seems fine, because the game actually switches.
I totally forgot to play the B-roll.
Oh, I know. That's why I haven't been showing anything.
Shoot. Sorry.
No, it's fine. But when they do that switch, the game actually changes your perspective. It doesn't leave you in that original body that did the copy. You end up in the copied body. So as the player, it all seems one-to-one. They make you think your consciousness transferred when all they've done is they did a stop pretty much, and the old body was left behind, and you just now took control of the new copy. So, and the game is really sneaky in doing that because it tries to really have this continuity of consciousness throughout the whole thing until you get to the very end, and I'll let Chaz kind of build that up.
And basically, though, I should also throw in, I mentioned this stuff called structure gel. This structure gel basically is the reason why the WoW is able to combine, why not just the WoW but even Catherine, why they're able to combine human form with the machinery, with the technology. It's like it's some sort of weird stuff they discovered at the bottom of the ocean, and they and they found that it's even like altering the sea life that's down there. And yeah, but again, that's kind of, the structure gel is very important in the story of kind of explaining how everything is happening.
It is and it isn't, though. Like, here's the thing with this game. Like, there is the narrative with the structure gel and the WoW and the world ending, but that's not really the point of this game.
That stuff's not important, no. Well,
like,
it's important, but
it's important to, you know, keep the character moving along, but that's not what this game is about. Like, you could put this in any other setting with any other constructs. Like, it's just, that's just something to, you know, explain how you're able to have robots that are, you know, able to work with, you know, human consciousness, but that's not the point of the game. Like, I mean, the narrative's interesting. I wouldn't take that away from this game. It's about the whole human existential crisis that they're kind of posing throughout this whole thing.
yeah. I guess, yeah, we'll just shoot through the end. I mean, there's a section where once Simon gets copied another time, he goes down into the depths of the ocean with Catherine, and basically they find one of the main outposts, which is hidden in the abyss, where that's also where the Ark is. And there's like a really cool, it's all really cool, like the walking section of you walking across the bottom of the ocean and kind of seeing what's kind of been going on down here the whole time. And there's a really interesting section where you get to talk to the last remaining human on the Earth, who I forgot her name. Oh no.
I feel like it was Sarah or something, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, all right. I'm not even gonna try. I thought it was like Ashley or Amy or something.
Oh, that might be right. I really don't remember the name.
No, but either way, you meet this character who like is basically on life support. She has like a, what is it, extravenous thing hooked up.
Yeah.
What?
She's plugged in.
She's plugged in, and she's basically being kept alive. And it's just really interesting because like, kind of reiterating on a lot of the points of like what is being alive, what is being human. It's like, yeah, this lady technically is human, but has she been alive this whole point? She's been stuck in a room hooked up to a machine keeping her alive. And again, like you were saying, like, has she been living, you know, in the weird sense? And she even like at the end is like, she gives you the little arc thing, and she's like, please kill me, you know, this isn't like worth living. And I don't know.
I think the weight of that decision, though, like, I don't know. It's a tricky thing because there's two ways you could preserve humanity at that point. Like, you have this arc, which, you know, is plugging all the robot brains into this thing just so there's, you know, the brains exist. But then you clearly have a living human there that is alive. So what's the more important choice to preserve humanity? Keep this chick plugged in against her will, or pursue the arc? Like, I don't know. It's a weird thing because seriously, once you unplug that, she is really the last human, and then humanity is gone. But does the arc, you know, replace that, or is sufficient enough to preserve humanity?
It's actually really sad when the character Simon tells her that like everyone at the other, because she's like, what about all the people at the outpost? And you're
she doesn't know.
You're the only person I've seen all the way here. And like that whole realization that she's like, oh wow, I'm the last one alive, huh? And it's like really sad. And the whole time when you when I unplugged her from the thing keeping her alive, she like slowly is asking all these really in-depth questions, and you're just sitting there like,
He's telling you sad stories. Like, it's uncomfortable.
Like, oh. Yeah, it is very. And I guess, do you want to just go straight to the end? I mean, that's basically all there is. I mean, I guess you do find out Catherine died, but I mean, you kind of already knew that throughout the game, considering she's in a machine, in a robot. But yeah, at the end of the game, basically, you get the arc, you get it all set up, you get all the consciousness put in there, and then there's a timer where as you're setting up the machine, Simon is with Catherine, or her digital form, and basically he's expecting to get sent off with all of this stuff. There's a big timer. The ship gets sent, and there's a time, and once the timer goes up, he's expecting to be on the Ark, and Catherine's like, "No, Simon, like, that's not how this works. I've been telling you this whole time that's not how this works." And Simon, in a rage, he has no choice but to be in a rage. I mean, now he's stuck at the bottom of the ocean, and basically, hits the machine where Catherine is, and everything starts to go dark, and Catherine now is gone from him, and it's like really dark and depressing because now he doesn't even have Catherine. Now he's like completely alone at the bottom of the ocean, and
yeah. Well, that's how the game like, once again, it subverts your expectations, because every time that this consciousness of Simon is transferred, you've gone with it. Like, they try to keep that continuity because they want to make you feel like this is a real person. It's not something else, some other, program or whatnot. And then right here at the most crucial point, when you're supposed to upload your brain to this Paradise Ark simulator so you can live forever, you don't make the switch. They don't carry the continuity over. And once again, it's just this big, kind of mind explosion thing, because clearly there was a transfer that took place. I know you'll probably mention it, but if you stick through the after credits, they do show you the transfer, the other Simon's perspective, if he goes through to the Ark, and he's super happy, right? Because he thinks from his continuity that everything went perfect, all the way from being in the doctor's chair back in the real world, all the way up to there, he's made it to the Ark. When along the way, all that's happened is his bits have been copied and pasted over and over and over again. So, I don't know. It's a really interesting game. I think it's really hard to go play by play through the plot. Like, I don't know how much of that you really followed, Metal. But it messes with your head. I mean, where did you land on at the end, Chaz? Did you feel like any of the robots were truly human? Was it worth it sending the Ark out? If that was a real scenario, would that have been the right choice to sacrifice everything and shoot that Ark up, and that's how you saved humanity?
Not necessarily. I mean, I would just go off of feeling. I don't necessarily feel like you saved the human race at the end. I mean, it's like, yeah, you sent their consciousnesses out there, but it's like, well, what can be done with that? Like, there is no people out there to get that. Like, who's gonna get that and turn that into anything? I don't know. I definitely feel as though it's just a story of, it's a story of
a bleak story.
The human. It's very bleak. Yeah, I would say there's not many happy moments. I mean, I'd say all of the happy moments are when Simon is getting transferred into, or what he thinks every time he gets transferred into a new consciousness, or when he thinks his consciousness is being moved. Those are probably the only happy moments, because he's thinking he's gonna get saved every time that happens.
So do you not feel like? 'Cause I mean, I think the point of this movie, not movie, it felt like a movie.
It felt like a movie, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And playing the game, I'm sure, is worth it. You can watch somebody play this game and get, I think, just about as much out of it. But I mean, the whole point is, okay, so how do you define life? If there was a robot that looked human, acted human, thought it was human, at least from a programming standpoint, is it human? Like, what's your take on that, Metal? Do you believe we're going to have human robots and people will just integrate them into society and they'll have their own parking passes and passports and everything?
I don't think so. At least not anytime soon.
How do you know? I could be a robot right now.
Well, that's kind of the point, though. Like,
they're not real.
Like, for right now, all we're doing is looking at each other on our screen. If we didn't know each other in real life, this is as much interaction as Simon got with Catherine in the game. Like, he literally finds like a little tablet that has this chick's face on it. It's a robot, but it talks to him just like a real person. Like, I'm talking to you right now. I could be a robot right now. Would that matter? Would I still not think I was human enough for you? Do I pass the Turing test? I mean, see, that's the whole thought here. Is like, it blows your mind a little bit. Like, I know where I kind of stand on it, but the game does a real good job, and I think it's primarily because they put you in the player's seat. Like, when you look at any of the other, robots in the game, it's easy to separate yourself from, like, okay, it's just a program, and clearly, okay, that's not human. But when they tied you to Simon at the very beginning, and without you knowing he was a robot, it really messes with your perspective on anything. Because then every time you see another scan, you can think, oh, the way I feel right now as this human person playing as this robotic consciousness is how these other robots must feel.
But is it just a robot? Like it can perfectly recreate the person's personality, and
exactly.
all of their mannerisms, all of their speech.
And that's where the
types,
game's trick is because they tie the human element to you. Like, if you weren't playing as Simon, like, or Simon was really just a regular human character and you looked at everybody else, I don't think this game would have had nearly the same impact. But the way they tied you and your projection of humanity onto this player character before you ever knew he was not technically human, it messes with it. Because then mentally you have to relay, okay, if this is how I feel, that's how all these other computers must feel. But, well, at least I feel like clearly that's not the case. But it definitely makes you think.
No, I definitely agree. I guess one more thought is I actually saw somebody who, the one video I sent you, I don't remember which video, but the guy was saying
the
that,
Genji
like,
video, I think.
Yeah, he was actually saying that the game, he thought he was able to take in more with the game on the easiest mode, because there's a normal and there's an easy, and the easy mode basically means you're not getting any damage from anything. And I actually kind of want to replay the game at some point and do that. Play it on the easiest, that way I don't have to, like, because he was saying it takes a lot of the tension off of worrying about the creatures and stuff throughout the game, where you can just focus on dialogue and focus on what people are saying.
You can explore the environments a little bit, yeah.
He was saying when you're worried about being hit, you miss a lot of interesting dialogue coming from Catherine and other characters.
You know, but the game tries to do those, standard survival horror trope kind of things where you have a monster creeping around, you got to stealthily kind of, work around it. But you're right, like those moments really I don't think make the game necessarily better. I mean, they do add some tension, but if you're really trying to soak in what happened in this world and the narrative, like, it'd be nice to release those strings of tension and just be able to explore the environment without any threat.
I actually think that one super scary part might have been my least favorite section of the game. Like, even though, like, yeah, it was the scariest, I mean, I don't know, I didn't really think I was getting anything out of it other than trying to avoid that thing following you around.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess, I don't know, kind of overall thoughts on this game. I really loved it. I don't know if I ever need to play it again. I kind of want to play it once more on that super baby mode. But other than that, I mean, I feel like the story, like,
it sticks with you.
It sticks with you, yeah. This is the kind of game though I'll forever probably watch like in-depth videos on YouTube, where like I constantly want to be hear somebody say, "Oh, this is what you missed," and stuff like that.
Yeah, I like to watch every couple of years like a new Let's Play of it or something like that, because it's just like watching like a good movie that's thought provoking. So I mean, I definitely recommend it. I hope we haven't ruined or spoiled everything for you, Metal. We probably have. But we were probably too convoluted to make it actually clear enough for you anyway, so...
I actually think there's a lot that could still be gained just by playing it, simply because of the acting. A lot of the voice acting is
it's excellent, yeah.
Hearing Simon and Catherine, how their reactions to certain things, hearing some of the consciousnesses react to being turned on or, like, turned off and killed, it's like... I don't know. I guess you kind of have to do that to make the machines... they have to emote a lot of emotion, because you have to feel something for them. That's what adds that whole, like, are you alive or are you dead? Because you react so realistically,
This is one of the first mediums ever that I think has at least gotten me closer to feeling like, okay, robots have more a sense of humanity than I ever thought. Like, I still don't buy into that camp necessarily that robots will ever have true humanity or anything like that, but this game does a much better job than any movie I've read, potentially a book, movie I've seen, book I've read.
Again, you say that, but if a machine can perfectly recreate a consciousness and thought and questioning and
I still wouldn't look at that as like. This game does a good job because, once again, it ties your humanity to the character. If that thread was not there, if I either knew my character was human or knew my character was robot from the beginning, that would be completely different. And part of it maybe is because, like, I know some of the inner workings with, like, the programming behind the scenes and how computers work, and there is just a line between how a human mind can behave versus a computer mind. Like, computers can predict and they can analyze and they can emulate, but this is one example I give. because I don't think I've announced this on the stream, but like I do computer science, like I'm a computer science professor, and I teach a lot of programming courses. And one of the examples I always talk about in my class is, okay, how do you create like random numbers, or how does a computer create random numbers? We as humans can just pick a random number, right? Like Chaz, pick a number. 15.
542.
Okay, but see, we both pick completely different numbers for no reason, no rationale. A computer can't do that. A computer has to be built on some set of rules. Like, do either of you know how a computer picks a random number?
By using numbers?
I'm sorry, I'm not trying to get into my class mode, but I am. Like, it's based upon usually hardware in the computer. It's a physical, like, hardware value on the system that it builds this random number off of. And the catch is, every time you start a program with that same configuration, the number's always the same. The only way to make it random is to add like time and some other like rules to it to make it seem more random. Point being, a computer can't pick a random number. It can't have a unique creative thought. Is kind of what I'm getting at here. It can emulate perfectly, and you're right, like you could code out someone's consciousness for every rule they've ever done. You could emulate it, but that's not humanity.
I didn't say that to the robots. You're the one saying that
I
to
am.
the robots.
If the robot overlords are hearing me, I don't believe you. You're not real.
I think you're perfectly perfect the way you are, robots.
My toaster's gonna break down my door and murder me here in just a second. But I don't know. Once again, I got a little ranty. I'm sorry, but as I said, this game has gotten the closest to me having some tie there, and I'll say it again. It's because of the way the game ties you at the beginning. Like, few games I think have done such a good job of getting you in that mind space or mindset. So, great game. I mean, I think it's interesting. I'm sorry too, because I think you were trying to hit on this earlier. There are a lot of similarities to how this game plays out versus Scorn, but this game does such a better job, I think, of putting you in the moment and even the environment more so, I think, than Scorn does. But I don't know. They're saying different things.
Well, this game, it gives you all the answers. It just like it's up to you to determine which answer you like more.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that's what I like so much, is like it answers all of your questions. The problem is are you okay with that answer?
It doesn't answer the existential side of the questions. Like, you get like the factual, this is what happened, and then you get to say, okay, well, what does that really mean? So
I agree. I definitely thought this topic was going to be our longest, and I definitely think it is. All right, so we're going to move on. That was that game. So we're going to move on to our newest other topic we like, called Highlights from the Horde.
Oh, I forgot all about that. I thought we were going to the speed run already. How long have we been going? However, I've been going for an hour.
A while. Well, I'm going to be quick with my highlights, so don't worry.
I don't believe you.
All right, so who wants to go first with their highlight for this week? Something from your collection that you wanted to show off.
Who went last week? Or last time?
We all went last
We
time.
all went.
I think, yeah, but I'm like, who went first? I mean, I think Metal went first, didn't he?
Metal, I'll go first this time.
Yeah.
How about that? All right, so something from my collection is something I picked up, I think, earlier this year from a pawn shop. But I actually decided to pick a game. This is not a game that I have played before, but it is something I think I kind of want to play and just talk about. I don't know, in general. But just in the for spooky time, I decided to pick this one. It is a PS1 game called Martian Gothic.
Never seen that before.
I've never seen that one either.
Yeah, it was a weird game I picked up at a pawn shop. I think I paid like $3 or $4 for it. But yeah, it looks really cool. It's some sort of Mars-looking game. It's some sort of third-person suspense and horror game, some sort of survival horror. Looks kind of Resident Evil, Silent Hilly, and I won't go too far into it. I just think the cover looked really cool. Got some sort of heads screaming. And I love collecting for the PS1. I feel like I don't have as many PS1 games as I'd like to. That's one of my favorite consoles to collect for. It's very nostalgic. I love those little cases.
Yeah, they're starting to. They're hard to come by nowadays. I mean, any game is hard to come by nowadays, but PlayStation ones are getting harder. This is like
I think it's like a $20 to $25 game.
Nice.
Nothing crazy, but cool.
Cool.
All right, who's up next?
What do you got, Metal?
I was very short. I didn't want to go on too long for mine.
I didn't even get to go to full screen for you. I'll go full screen for Metal. Yeah, there it is. That's what I wanted to see.
That's what you guys wanted to see last time.
I love that box art, man. Like,
that is cool.
So simple. Every side has a different color, and just to throw it out there, like Phoenix said before, styrofoam.
Yep.
So it's a pretty. There's nothing. It's simple. It's a simple device. Very nice little box.
Can't you, if you
That
go
has
over
a
to
lot going
Japan,
on.
can't you find them? You can find, but you
Yeah.
have to go to Japan.
Yeah, you probably could. I don't see why not.
I don't think
It's
they're
fun.
like super expensive. I don't think so. I mean, you could get them imported, of course. But I just love the Japanese
Yeah.
boxes. And, like, all the American ones are always so bland. It's just like a picture of the console, and that's it, like sitting on a table or something. But like the
Yeah.
N64 one, the Super Famicom, like, they just look really cool. I don't think I've
Yeah,
ever
nice.
seen a Famicom box like Japanese.
Oh.
Not sure what that one looks like.
I
think
have,
one of the
or-
few ones. We're good.
would like one.
I would say I haven't seen one. I don't know what that one looks like. I'm gonna imagine it's 100% better than the NES box, but I don't know for sure.
I really want a Game Boy box. OG
Yes.
Game Boy box.
Yeah. Well, they have
One
a
of the
couple of
few
variants. I want the one that has like the weird see-through like space hands holding the clear Game
Oh
Boy.
yeah. I know what
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's cool.
All right. Oh, I guess it's
Alright,
me,
There's
isn't
nothing
it?
special about the story behind it, but yeah, it's yours.
Well, didn't you get a gift from? Wasn't that a gift to you? You said the Super Famicom.
That was. Yes, it was like a birthday gift from my cousin actually. He gave it to me. He goes, "You go have a birthday." I'm like, "Are you serious right now?"
Does he have any more?
Does he need any more cousins? We can
he need
we can
more
join the
cousins?
family.
I know, right? No, I got a couple of things that he gave me that is pretty awesome. So
Nice.
I'll
the
probably
same-
show another one next time.
Same thing with mine. Mine was just I picked it up at a pawn shop. I liked it. What
Cool.
do you got, Phoenix?
So this was a little last minute. I was trying to think of something spooky-ish, and I was having a hard time running through. But I did find one thing that maybe isn't spooky, but at least I think will fit the vibe. So I think you know this, Chaz. Xbox 360, probably one of my favorite consoles. Like retro Super Nintendo, but like as far as like pseudo modern, 360 is where it's at.
Oh, I agree.
So a few years ago, I got into the habit of trying to collect all the special edition 360 consoles, and I got most of them. There's a few like old original ones I don't have. Like there's like a red Resident Evil one I
You're
can't
gonna show
find.
I think
Don't
you're
don't,
gonna
shh,
show-
don't spoil it. If you know
I
it, don't
you're
say
gonna
it.
show.
All right. So I'm gonna show off this guy.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah. So this is is it Gears 3? Yeah, Gears of War 3 Special Edition Xbox. This one actually has a what'd they call these covers? Do you know, Chaz? It was like
The replaceable front. Part,
no,
or-
no. There was a company that made. Oh, it lights up. These specially outer shells. Like this, actually, what you're looking at isn't the outside of the console. It's a
remember.
shell on it. The console itself is red and has a very similar pattern on it. But
Mhm.
a company made a few of these like casings you can wrap around the console. Like they bolt on to the top over here. They light up and do some cool little things on the side. But I don't know. I thought this was like the last special edition console I needed. When you turn it on, it makes Gears of War noises. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, but probably didn't hear that at all. But
Nope. Mm-mm.
either way, but it's cool. I like it. And it's got the matching controller. So there you go.
Wasn't there a base to it? It was like a stand.
Not that I know of. I'm pretty sure it was just the console. I said, and this one has this case on it, but barring the case, it's just, it's a red console with like a little black Gears of War logo on the side, but I don't know. I liked it, so
That's neat.
that was mine.
That's pretty.
Interesting. All right, so do you want to get us lined up for our, what is it, the speed run news?
I'm ready. Bam.
Okay. So which topic do you want to start off? I want to start off with the oldest one. Have you guys been keeping up with any of this Bayonetta 3 stuff?
Yeah. I have.
Oh shoot, I didn't bring up the article. I already forgot her name.
It's Helena Taylor.
Helena Taylor, yeah. So if you didn't know, basically, I think Bayonetta 3 should be out, right? I think it's already out.
Thank you this week.
Basically, to kind of combat the launch of the game, Helena Taylor had come out and said that fans of Bayonetta should boycott the game, and this is probably three weeks ago when she did this. But she wanted people to boycott the game because she claimed she was offered $4,000. She wasn't really clear on anything. She just said she was offered $4,000 to do all of the voice work for the game, which seems kind of crazy, right? For a main, voice actor, the main lead of your game or movie, to be offered $4,000 for sessions. So yeah, basically she had.
Well, she wasn't clear if it was sessions like that. This is where it gets really murky. She
Well, that's what
wasn't
I mean.
clear about
She
what it
wasn't
was
clear on
for. She just
anything.
said
She didn't. Yeah,
$4,000 to reprise her role as
that's
Bayonetta.
why I said that. Yeah. And so basically, she kind of was drawing a lot of ire to Nintendo, or not Nintendo, whatever the Bayonetta company.
Platinum
What is
Games.
Platinum Games? Yeah. So they were getting a lot of kind of heavy criticism, and I think after a few days, it had come out that that she actually was offered. I think it was a bit more. I think it was like 4,000 plus 15,000 for like multiple sessions. So eventually, it ended up just being that she kind of was. I don't want to say kind of. She basically was maybe not lying, but she was leaving out important information as to what was going on. So that's basically everything that happened. I mean, was there any more to it? I don't know if anything ever happened.
I mean, there was a little bit. I'm going to start a timer though. Man, have you been keeping up with this metal at all?
I read a couple of things in Kotaku and then I just kind of went off of it. I was like, what the hell is going
It
on?
was a big deal for like 3-4 days.
Well, it's been longer than that. Like, this has been going on for about 3 weeks, and like every week or so, there's a new piece to the saga. Like, first it was okay, her initial call for a boycott, and everybody was all on her side because of it, because nobody wants to see voice actors paid poorly, and they were all rallying support. But she kind of threw some shade at some, I think, poor choices of people. Like, she attacked to a certain extent Jennifer Hale, the person who replaced her as the voice actor.
She's like a big actor herself.
Yeah, she did voice work for Mass Effect and all this other stuff. And then Jennifer Hale came back and basically said, "Hey, you should just hear both sides of the story before you make any make up your mind on anything."
Yeah.
And then sure enough, Platinum Games comes out saying, "Nope, what she said wasn't accurate. We actually was like $4,000 per session, averaging up to like $15,000 in total or something." And then it was like, okay, that $4,000 number that she mentioned was just when she turned down the initial offer. That was going to be like to do a cameo or something. Yeah. But I guess apparently Helena Taylor had turned that down, thinking it was disrespectful or whatnot, and had demanded like a 6-figure salary, like $125,000 or some nonsense. So, oh, and that's, I'm not trying to get on what that voice acting is worth. Like, $125,000 might be perfectly fine. I don't know. It's not about that. My big thing is just how disingenuous she was at the beginning.
Disingenuous about that. Yeah.
And here's the thing: you could argue that she was accurate because the last offer was $4,000 for the cameo. But here's the thing: she chose to weaponize this fan base. Like, the way she said what she said, like, she left out information, and that was not on accident. Like,
if she weaponize social media, like Twitter and the Twitter gang,
Like, I don't think she can feign naivety here, like to be like, "Oh, I just forgot to mention it was actually $15,000." Like, that's a pretty big piece of information you should say right up front when you're basically claiming, "No, I was only offered $4,000." So she diminished the offer to make everybody feel bad for her, and then just got blasted because a lot of reputable sources like Bloomberg and others all said, "Yeah, we have sources, and they've seen, I guess, contracts or paperwork saying she was offered more." And ever since then, she's just been on blast. So I don't know. I definitely am not in her camp by any means. I don't know where you guys land on it.
Go ahead, gamer.
No, I think for something like that, I mean, if you're gonna go back on saying something like that, that seems kind of strange to me.
And that's the thing too, like, she didn't deny any of these claims. Like, once they finally said, "Oh yeah, we actually offered her 15,000," she came out and said, "Oh yeah, that's true." So it's just like, it's not even like she tried to refute that claim by any means. So clearly she hid information. That's just, I don't know, that's sketch all the way around.
I still feel like another big problem with this, though, is like, in a way, to defend her, a lot of the big problem is like the still whole lack of like if you have unions, you have a better understanding of what is proper or what is a good amount of pay. Like, I do feel like $4,000 or 15 for prize, playing the main role of a character in a movie or game. See, now granted, 125 seems like a lot, but like,
well, you got to put it in perspective. I'm not trying to say what any of this should be worth, but I'm trying to remember what the amount of work was, but like, I think it was initially like 4 days of like 5 hours each. So it was like 20 hours worth of work, she would have made $15,000. It averaged down to almost $1,000 an hour, which was over union rates, to my understanding, from her original offer. That's not too bad. Now, once again, I'm not trying to say everybody.
She is the main character compared
okay,
to
but
how
it's
many
also,
other people
I mean, it's contract work. It's different. Like, I'm not saying that maybe she shouldn't have been worth more. I'm not trying to go down that rabbit hole. I mean, clearly, if she was a valuable, piece to this franchise, maybe they should try to sweeten the pot a little bit.
I mean,
but it's not like she was offered nothing.
I do also understand the idea of budgeting, where it's like, I'm sure the company has a certain amount of budget, and it's like, well, would you rather pay the voice actor this much, or the people that are actually creating the game?
Well,
I mean, I don't know.
That's the thing I really don't like about the whole idea of a boycott. Like, okay, so whether you agree the pay rate was fair for this one person, okay, that maybe it's all true and it sucks for Helena Taylor. To boycott it means every single person who worked on this game, you're now punishing because the game's going to sell poorly, potentially, right? The developers, the artists, people who maybe aren't paid even as well as the voice actor. Like, I feel like that's pretty crappy to call for a boycott like that.
No.
There's our time.
No. Okay. Did you want to get anything else in, Gamer?
Last minute thoughts?
No.
It doesn't sound like you've had your fill of this topic.
I think it's fine.
I can't read you with that big face, man. I have no idea.
I know.
It just seems kind of, I mean, for $1,000 an hour, I mean, if you're doing voice acting and that's not enough, and you're trying to get your fan base to back you up on it, I don't know.
And the point is,
It just
too,
seems kind of strange to me. I just don't like that idea.
and when you do
It's kinda
contract
small.
work, that's not your only job. It's not like that's the only job she probably would have had all year, right? She'd hopefully do other voice acting work. So, like, you make $15,000 one month, that's pretty good. Next month, hopefully you find another job. Now, once again, you can't guarantee you'll find work
You
in
won't
that
make
kind of
15
business.
grand,
Right.
but say you make 5 to 10. That's still.
Yeah, I mean, that's what comes along with that territory. So, I don't know. Once again, I'm not saying that the pay was necessarily fair or poor or whatnot. There's definitely an argument to say you should pay these voice actors more, but she came across real sketch about it. She got paid, or potentially offered to pay more than what she said she was going to. I think a lot of people would probably argue it was probably close to fair rate for many people, but either way.
Fair enough. All right, so we're gonna move on from Bayonetta to, I don't know which one. Let's tackle. I say let's tack on the Henry Cavill news. We had this one tagged as Cavill giveth and Cavill taketh away. Was the title for this one. So basically, what had just happened is Henry Cavill announced that he will not be rejoining for season 4 of the Witcher TV show. Basically, what he kind of announced it. I don't remember. Did he announce it on his social medias? Anyways, he at least, I think he put out a video and announced it. And basically, what's going to happen is he is not going to be the Geralt of Rivia anymore. That's going to become Liam Hemsworth, who is Chris Hemsworth's, I think, little brother.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what do you guys think? Are you sad about seeing Geralt of Rivia or Henry Cavill give up the dual sword ship or and whatnot?
Has anybody watched the show?
I have nothing to say about this one.
I watched the first season. That's all I've seen.
I've watched both. I think what's helped me enjoy the seasons more, I have not read any of the books. I've also not played the games. So I'm a lot more open with what they do with the show. I know some people are more up in arms when they change stuff, and that's fair. But I think if you come into this, just enjoying the show for what it is and don't have any other, preconceived notions about anything, I've enjoyed it. I like Cavill. And most things I've seen, I think he's done a pretty good job. I think he, at least from my perspective on Geralt, he does a pretty good job.
I think he does a pretty good job. Very good job.
So I can't imagine Liam. Well, I don't know. I won't say I can't imagine Liam Hemsworth doing better or worse, but I don't personally want to see him in that role. I'd much rather see.
I don't even know.
Cavill.
I don't know Liam from anything. I couldn't tell you what. I think he was in
Hunger
Independence
Games,
Day.
Independence Day. Nothing huge. I mean, Hunger Games is probably the biggest thing he's done. But I don't know.
Just got the guy that played Master Chief in the show. Just make him everything.
Let's not go down that rabbit. So I guess the big discussion here is, why is Cavill leaving? A lot of people are thinking it's because of his other big announcement. He's back as Superman.
Yeah.
So, which I am once again pretty excited about. I'm a Cavill fan. So.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Metal, you gotta have an opinion about this. Did you like Henry Cavill as Superman?
I think it was just fine.
Just fine. Oh, how does he compare to other
I think it was
Supermans? Or
great.
you're not a Superman guy?
Um,
Well, there's only two other Supermen, Brandon Routh and Christopher Reeves.
Oh, you could argue
Unless
you've
you
also got Dean
Smallville.
Clark. You've got was it Tom Welling? Um, there was somebody else. Who's the guy who does the Lois and Clark or not? Was it Superman and Lois show that's on? You got that guy.
I I thought he was Hispanic. I've been calling him
I
Hispanic
forgot about
Superman.
that guy.
No,
Yeah, I don't have
I,
much of
I
an
actually
opinion
heard he does a
now.
good job though.
I've heard good things
Sorry.
about that show. All right, so Metal's
I'm
got no
excited.
opinion. Yeah.
I'm
Okay,
excited
yeah,
for
no,
more.
I'm terrible at it.
No, I'm excited for more DC stuff. I feel like Cavill deserves another chance at Superman. Something separate from the DCEU. Hopefully, like,
Mhm.
I mean, if you're gonna make it DCEU, at least find a way to, I don't know, make it multiverse or I don't know.
I'm sure it will still be EU. Because I mean they're bringing on Gunn now to kind of bring everything together and give it like a creative direction. So I'm sure there's going to be a more comprehensive
I
extended
don't know how
universe.
James Gunn would do with Superman. I mean, his
James Gunn is
jokey.
not everything James Gunn does though is jokey. Like we've seen him do Suicide Squad and Guardians, but he also did what 28 Days Later was like one of his first movies, and like he's done some very different types of movies.
I just did a video on that. That
What?
was Danny Boyle.
Oh, well, he did something like that. Man, not 28 Days Later.
He
I'll have to
did
look it up.
Dawn of the
Dawn of the
Dead.
Dead. That's one thing. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I mean that's a little campy, but that's not exactly Suicide Squad. Like
hmm
he, I think, has done a large enough amount of different kind of genre-specific movies that I could see him shift the tone
I'm
around.
very interested. I'm intrigued to see what he does with anything. I
Hmm.
immediately want to see him start working on something.
Yeah, well, I'm glad to see him back. I mean, for whatever you say about the DCEU stuff, I don't think the issues with Superman and related characters have anything to do with Henry Cavill. I think he did a great job portraying the character. He just needs a better story and some better writing to work with. And I think he's going to do a fine job. So I'm glad to see him back, personally. I'm a little sad to see him leave The Witcher, though. But what's going to happen, I don't think this Witcher season's ever going to make it to 4. Like, I'm sorry, season 3 was still upcoming, I think, next summer. Cavill will be in that one. I think after that, I think the show's going to die out. I think they'll probably cancel it after season 3.
Probably. Netflix is they do that a lot.
Yeah.
Cancel a lot of shows.
They're probably feeding out this information now just to kind of get feelers, see if anybody even cares about Liam Hemsworth. But I don't think he's gotten a very strong reception.
And I'll tell you, financially, if you're Cavill, it's an easy decision. I mean, you're gonna get paid out the you know what to go play Superman. Oh,
Yeah. And I think, too, like, The Witcher show, how long could it have even really gone on for? Like, maybe he gets another 2 seasons out of it if he's stuck with it. Season 4, season 5. I don't see this being some 10-season-long major epic show. So he's going to be better off jumping to the next big project. And it seems like the
it'll
DC might be, on the uptick.
it'll be reminiscent of. Do you guys ever watch Spartacus?
Yeah.
Like the show was really good, and then when that main actor died, the guy that followed him, like he was fine, but it fell off so hardcore.
Yeah, you lose something when you lose a main protagonist like that.
Mm. Cool.
There
Well,
it is.
right on time. I was gonna say that's all I have to say. Yeah, the Superman. I'm excited for that. All right, so we're moving on to our final speedrun topic for the night. Is we kind of combined this one because they were technically two different events, but I over the break we did have Silent Hill. They had like an entire showcase where they announced a handful of games that were, and I also think movie-oriented things. But that happened, and then also there was a Resident Evil showcase that happened where they also made a bunch of announcements. So I don't know. Do you guys want me to just go through the list and if anything, do you know of anything off the top of your head that got announced you're interested in?
I mean, I know it was announced, but you just go through the list. It's probably the easiest way to go through it.
Okay. So there was a story trailer for Resident Evil 4 remake. If you didn't know, they're remaking 4. They announced a collector's edition. There was an extended gameplay segment for 4 as well. So basically a lot of Resident Evil 4 stuff. Another trailer for the Winters expansion for Resident Evil Village. Resident Evil Reverse, they showed a bunch of stuff for, which I believe is like some new PvP thing
Yeah, multiplayer.
that they're working with. And then they showed some more Resident Evil VR stuff. So, yeah, as for the Resident Evil one, was there anything you guys cared about there? I mean, me personally, I mean, I played Village already, so I feel like I'm good. I've never played Resident Evil 4, so maybe this might be a better way to play it. I don't know what they changed. Or...
I've started Resident Evil 4 a couple of times, but I'm a big baby. I never make it too far in it. But I mean, from what I could tell, the bit I've seen, bit I played, it looks pretty faithful to the original. Like the art direction looks right. Looks like the gameplay is kind of on point. So I know this for many is like, you know, top tier, best game ever made kind of thing. So I'm sure a lot of people are really hyped up about it. I'm a little lukewarm. I might finally give it a shot, but I don't know. I'm not jumping up and down for it or anything. Horror games aren't really my bag, though. I'll be honest. That's probably more up your alley.
Maybe I'm not best big on Resident Evil though. Like I don't know if I'd say I've loved a Resident Evil game to date. Like I like them. They're fine playthroughs. I don't think I've loved a Resident Evil game. Maybe
what about
Village
that
might...
amazing baby section in Village? Wasn't that like game of the year moments for you?
That was not enjoyable. It was interesting, but
It was
not
enjoyable for me watching you.
What about you, gamer? Do you care about Resident Evil?
I enjoy the games. I think they're fun for what they are. I mean, they're not my favorite, but they're fun. I mean, I like the VR one. I think that's super fun, considering that, you know, I like the way the games are, so.
I would never play Village in VR, just for that one section. Never do it.
I believe it. I want to see play the VR.
No. All right, so we're going to go ahead and just real quick, I'll throw in also the Silent Hill event. There was quite a bit that was announced here. We finally got announced because Silent Hill has been dormant for Konami for years and years and years. So this was a big thing for them not only to announce one thing, but they announced like 5 things. I mean, out here doing Ubisoft stuff basically. But they basically announced, they showed a gameplay trailer for a new Silent Hill 2 remake. There's Silent Hill Downfall, which is a new spin-off game that they're going to be announced. They announced Silent Hill F, another spin-off game. So you've got Silent Hill Ascension. What is this? I don't even know what Ascension was. I forgot. It seems like it's some sort of other Silent Hill, and then there's Return to Silent Hill. So it's basically just, you know, a remake of 2 and a bunch of spin-offs. I mean, it's very much similar to the Resident Evil topic, where it's like, I'll be honest, I have much less experience with Silent Hill. I don't think I've tried one game. I remember watching my brother play it a ton when I was younger, and that's all I've got with it.
Yeah, I said not a horror guy. Go ahead, gamer. I'm sorry.
I've only played the first one. I mean, you know, you play one of them. It's cool, I guess.
Maybe it was the wrong audience for this. I don't know.
Back in the day, like it's one of those games where it's like if you played the first one, then if it sticks the first time, then you'll probably play all the others. But
I do feel like these games. Or sorry, good.
No. I'm done.
I was gonna say these games very much remind me of Scorn, where like it's all about the scares and the spooks on your way towards the end, but whenever you get to the end of these games, you never fully understand what exactly is happening. You never know what Silent Hill is, where you are, where.
And you're gonna get some flack for comparing this to Scorn. I can already tell you.
Oh no, I would much rather play a Silent Hill game than Scorn. I'm good. I was comparing it in terms of the
ambiguity of everything.
What tends to happen in the games, like again, like Silent Hill is very like it's all about the journey. It's not the end. You know what I mean? It's all about the journey. And then once you get to the end, it's like I just remember my brother every time he would play one, he would be like, "Yeah, I don't know what happened at the end, but I got scared a bunch, you know, on the way there."
Fair enough. I didn't know people are really like up in arms because the team that's remaking this was a Bloober team.
Bloober team.
And I guess people just don't.
Yet to make.
The only game I think they've done that's close, and it's probably was what got them the job in the first place. They did that Medium game a couple of years ago.
Well, they've done Medium, and they've done what is the painting game?
Something of Fear.
Something Fear, yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. So they've done some horror games before. I guess people are just feeling like, you know, they haven't either nailed any of those games necessarily, and I guess the feel they're bringing to the remake just, I guess for those who have played it, just feels a little off. But
they don't have like a critical success or darling, so yeah, it is. I don't know. It's kind of interesting that they brought them on to do it. Oh, yeah. Layers of Fear. I just remember.
Layers of Fear. That's right. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this is probably a wait and see kind of thing. I certainly hope for those who are big Silent Hill fans, this is what they've been waiting for, because, man, Konami's been holding out on them for decades, it feels like, so I hope this pays off.
No, I agree.
There it is.
Oh wow, we got one more thing to do, and we're not doing too bad so far. All right. So I don't know. We got our final thing. I'm pretty excited to see how this goes. I figure this would be kind of cool for us to do a tier list. So yeah, I guess we're just gonna go through each.
It's only 6 minutes of Halloween left, Chaz. We gotta hurry. Okay. Well, see, the ones I like to savor them though. I don't always eat them right up front. I like to, hold off. I'll eat like a couple of good ones, then I'll eat the bad ones and savor the really good ones towards the end. Okay, fair enough. I'm a fan of white chocolate. I will give it an A. It's up there for me. See if it sticks. I found that interesting though, because I feel like a lot of people don't like the cookies and cream Hershey. Like they disdain it for whatever reason, but I've always liked it. I like Hershey's. Hershey. Well, okay, we'll get that in a minute. Go ahead. Ooh. I feel like I gotta be in the mood for them. I feel B. What do you say, Metal? All right, take off the pig mask. I can't hear you anymore. You survived long enough. I can hear you now. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna put a pause on things for just a minute. I just realized, and I'm sorry for everybody's watching this live, I don't have the Discord audio on that mic. Oh, hold on 1 second. I can fix this in just a moment. Discord audio input. No, just for the candy stream.
Oh, I see.
Sorry. Where's Discord audio at? I'm sorry, guys. I'm working on it. I think it's output. There it is. Discord.
We were so close without
at least,
any hitches.
I know. At least. Hey, okay. Talk again now. Go ahead and talk.
Hi.
Hey, there we go. All right. So we got to repeat everything again. About candy.
So we all agreed Hershey's was an A, so we got 3 A's, and we left off at Reese's where I said a B, and it sounded like Phoenix was okay with a B as well.
Yeah.
What about you, Gamer, for Reese's peanut butter cups?
I said C originally, but then at the same time, I'm like, I have to be in the mood for them, but they do taste really yummy. So if I see them, I'm like, you know what? Why the heck not?
That sounds like a
So-
C to you.
That's not, so 2 B's and a C. I think that means a B though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, gotta take off these gloves. It's making my hand hurt. I don't know why. Clicking. All right. So Kit Kats. These are interesting. I'm
going S tier, man. I love me a Kit Kat.
Really?
Yeah,
S tier?
something
I don't
about
know
them.
about that.
I went for a Kit Kat automatically earlier, so yeah.
Like I've gone up and down in my candy preferences over the years, but I always come back to a Kit Kat.
So do you both say S tier for Kit Kat?
I love Kit Kats, man. All day, every.
Well, you gotta, just because you love it, that's not a letter score.
Oh, it's an S. Oh, for sure.
Okay.
That's one of the first I do grab.
See, I can't give it S. If it was the green one, have you had the green Halloween one? That's S.
The green one? Are you talking about the mint one, or are you talking about the
It's like a Halloween
wasabi
witches
one?
Colored one. That's the colored one, right?
Yeah.
It's just colored green.
I
had the mint one. That thing's boss.
See, I gotta go B. I like Kit Kats, but they're not my faves. So what was that? What would that make it if we got two S's and a B?
It'd be like an
The
A plus. We
A.
can say A.
Okay, that's still pretty close. But yeah, Kit Kats aren't my total favorite. I like them. Now moving on to my opinion, an underrated one, 100 grand. Have you guys ever? You guys like 100 grands?
I haven't had one in a long time. Is that the one that has peanuts in it, right?
It has like rice. It's like rice on the
Oh, I thought
outside
it
with
had... Doesn't it have some kind of
It's
nuts in it? Maybe not.
it's like a bunch of crunch, but with caramel on the inside.
Big old caramel bar.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I think I'm gonna have to sit it out. I don't remember it well enough, I think, to give my opinion on it.
100 grands, I would say, are like a B. I like 100 grands for me. What do you say, gamer?
I wish if they were dark chocolate, man, it would be totally better. But yeah, I would say yeah. Yeah, just keep it as a B. That's fine.
B. Okay.
Yeah, because again, it falls in the same idea of Reese's where it's like you got to be in the mood for something like that. You know.
So now to combat the Reese's peanut butter cups, we have Reese Pieces.
C for me.
See?
Yeah, they don't do it for me. I don't know.
I think I actually like them more than peanut butter cups.
Really?
Yeah. I would say.
I'm a D on that one.
Like,
You know what? I'll say C as well.
I leave them for last.
like when I'm wanting that kind of candy, like this little bite size, I'd rather just have like some nice M&Ms. Yeah. So,
Yeah,
but peanut butter
fair
cups fit a very particular role. So.
So we got two C's and a D. So we got a C for Reese's Pieces. So we have one that I'm never historically fond of, but Sweethearts. Sweethearts, whatever.
They're not hearts. They're sweet tarts.
No, okay. What do you think? What do y'all think?
I'll go back and forth on these. What do you think, Metal?
I like them.
These are
I don't know.
these are D for me.
What a D.
Yeah, for me. These are D.
I wouldn't go D. I'd probably go C.
I wouldn't go D. I'll go D on that one. Like I actually like sweet tarts. Like if I saw them in the bag and I was on top, I probably would grab those.
So we got one D, one C, and what else?
What do you say, Metal?
Oh, C.
Oh, all right.
I think
If you
they're
say
a
so.
solid C. Yeah.
Your taste buds are terrible, but okay. All right. So Three Musketeers.
Ooh, I like a Three Musketeer.
I hate these things.
What?
Why not
They're so fluffy.
Just man up and get a Snickers. I mean,
No. These serve a very different role than a Snickers. Like Snickers, like if you're hungry, you want a Snickers. But like if you've already eaten a lot and you want something light, Three Musketeers, man. You open them, it's just like fluffy, whippy,
you want to float
chocolatey
like
stuff.
a cloud?
Sometimes.
That
I'd give it a
stuff is
B.
pretty damn good.
I'd give it a B.
I say D. So D and B.
I was gonna average out to a C unless Metal goes a different direction.
Yeah.
Well, I would average it out to a C.
So we
Okay.
got so that's C,
Like,
right? We got a D, a B, and a C.
I like it when those little when they come up and they're like, "Ooh, where have you been?" And they just
Alright.
kind of in the bag.
So we got cocaine sticks next. I mean pixie sticks.
Oh man.
I'm not. These are like F. These are.
I'm like D. I mean, there is a time that I don't hate them, but they're low for me.
I don't
Yeah.
go for like if they were not in the bag, I would not miss them. So
All right, so we're going F on it. That's fine.
Well, we got one D, one F, and what else? Gamer?
You said F.
Oh, we got an F. All right. Oh.
Ooh, Pixie Sticks.
So these are kind of weird, but I like Airheads. What do you think about Airheads?
It depends on the flavor, man. Like you get
mystery.
the mystery is
Mystery
good. I love me
flavor.
the cherry one. Like those
Love
could
the-
be A for me, real easy,
I think
or you
white
get the bad
always
one.
The white one's the worst one. From
That's
what I
the mystery
remember.
one. That one's good.
White one's the best one.
Is it really? Oh, I don't remember.
Oh,
Dude, white-
that one's
I
the
would
tricky
say,
one. Like
like-
there are a few that I think are like I really don't like the green apple one. I think that one's gross.
I would say like C for me.
I like it.
I'd
blue
go
one
at
and
least B.
white.
So B, C.
I'd say there's enough good ones in there. I'd say
Okay.
B.
I would go for the.
The bad ones knock it down from A though.
Two B's, two C's. Okay, so we're moving on to I forgot what these things are called. These are is it with these like baby something?
I can't even read it. It's so tiny.
Those
I
look
know
like
what they
sugar
are.
babies or something.
I think
Sugar
that's what
babies?
it is.
Oh.
No, it's sugar daddy,
Sugar
right?
daddies?
Sugar daddy, yeah.
I think that's what it is. I can't even see it. It says Big O something.
Sugar daddy. I probably shouldn't Google sugar daddy, should I? It's gonna get me in
Oh,
trouble. Sugar daddy
I think
candy.
it's
Let's
sugar.
see.
I think it's a sugar daddy.
Yes, those are sugar daddies.
Okay.
I think.
These are another ones that I think these are Fs. I hate these things. If it's a sugar daddy,
I don't know if I've had one. If I
It's
have,
like-
it's
it's
been
like
a long
really,
time.
it's like really tough caramel.
I don't like hard
Yeah.
caramel, so if that's what it is, no, I like
It's
chewy
hard.
caramel.
It's like harder caramel. Yeah.
I would go for an F on that one. I don't really care for them.
No. Wow. We all hated it. I see. I don't think these are sugar daddies though.
They
They
might
say
not
like
be. The color, like this packaging I'm looking at, is a little different. So unless that's just an old package,
it says like Bit O something. I don't know.
Can't tell.
They don't look good. They look terrible.
All right, we're just gonna assume that it's a hard caramel, and I don't like hard caramel, so I'm still sticking with F.
All right, so the classic Buncha Crunch,
It's not Buncha, is it? Is it really Buncha? I thought it was always just Crunch Bar.
or is it Crunch Bar? Is that the same
I
thing?
think it's a Nestle Crunch Bar. I don't think it's a Buncha Crunch.
Isn't that the same thing?
I think Buncha Crunch are the like little balls
Little
of crunch.
that you get in the
I
theaters.
mean, I think it's the same candy, but it's like in ball form instead of candy bar form.
Oh,
It's
whatever.
different. It's different. The candy
Okay,
bar is
okay.
different than little bunches. I like a Crunch Bar.
I'd say like C for me.
I will go for a B on that one. I really like.
I'm
Crunch
between
bars.
A and B. Like, it depends on my mood, but I wouldn't go C.
you-
Yeah, we can do B as a compromise.
Yeah, so B. Now, one of my all-time favorites, Sour Patch Kids. I love gummies. Gummies are my jam, and they got a little bit of sour, not too much sour. But what do you guys think about patches?
I'd give it an
I
A.
love kids.
I-
Hell yeah, straight up. Off the
I think
top.
I think Sour Patches are S. So we got 2 A's and an S.
Yeah,
A's and an
I'm trying to
S?
debate if I can go S with it. If my wife was here, she'd be all about that. She'd go S. I'm gonna stick A though.
Okay. You can always change your mind. I'd prefer it, but I won't force it upon you, I guess.
That's right.
All right, so Rainbow Nerds. I hate Rainbow Nerds. These are like F
D.
tier.
I don't
So F,
hate.
D.
I don't hate them, but they're not gonna be like they're the last thing I'd probably eat in the bag.
Yeah, I agree.
But I would eat them.
Yeah, I'd eat them too. Just the very bottom of the barrel. Like if that's the only thing that's left, cool, I'll eat them. But
Well, we got 2 Fs. Well, what's your
I wouldn't
letter
give
on
it F. I would do D personally,
D.
but you guys can average it where you
Okay,
want.
So 2 Ds now. I got F. You got 2 Ds. That's fine.
I'm gonna this next one sucks. Just throw
Yeah,
it
good and
F.
plenty's. Yeah, garbage.
I don't think I've had those before.
No. If they're a
Lots of
Mike
the
and
same.
Ike's, which we'll see pretty soon, but good and plenty's.
Dots.
Okay,
Dots,
so
yeah.
I gotta
Dots are
say
bad
real
too.
quick.
So,
I gotta say real quick. If this was the strawberry
Pull 'em-
Twizzlers,
oh,
the ones that are like the ones that are spinny, ooh, I love those ones.
wait,
But these
hold
are
on.
like-
Are those pull-and peels right there? The cherry pull-and peels?
no, it's not. Or is it the no?
well,
What are the
you're
pink
thinking
ones?
of the standard strawberries. The ones I like are the cherry Twizzler pull-and peels, where you like peel them off.
That's not these. These are the normal Twizzlers. This is a normal Twizzler.
All right, so then that's just strawberry, the basic ones.
Yes, I'm talking about the pink ones, the ones you peel. Those ones are legit.
Those are
like
cherry
the-
flavor though, not strawberry.
Okay, but they're pink. I think normally in like a pink wrapping.
Yeah. Okay, I'm with you now. So yeah, these C.
C for me.
They're
What-
fine.
what do you think,
I like them
Gamer?
better than red vines, but
What did Gamer say?
I like them personally. I do usually go for them first anyway. But
Mhm.
for me, those are like a B.
2
That's,
C's and a B.
'Cause I really like them. Like I like just chewing on those things.
Oh,
I would
red
buy a
vine.
whole bag. I would buy a whole
Red,
bag.
red
of them.
vines are garbage. I hate red. Those are like F tier.
are red vines even on this list? Trying to look around.
I don't think so.
No, good. They
don't
shouldn't
see
be
them.
anywhere. Yeah, no. If those were the pull-and peels,
Okay.
I would probably put those S. I really like pull-and peels.
No, I agree. All right, so
Garbage.
these are another favorites of mine.
Oh
Dots.
no, garbage.
These are S tier. These are goated.
Garbage.
But that's my opinion. So
Trash.
Garbage. You're trashing
so
it.
I do not like dots.
Don't like
So
that.
we got one S and what else?
I got an F.
Oh, two Fs.
You got an F on that one.
You can put to a D if you want to save some face, but those don't go any higher than that. Not my list.
You want to save it, Chaz? Go right ahead.
No, I think they're S, but that's just me. But
I guess the problem is like compare that to any other, because those are basically like jelly beanie kind of things, right?
those things.
There are much better jelly bean options.
They're a little more squishy than jelly beans.
Don't like them.
The only problem with them is when they get stuck in your teeth. It is.
Yeah, they're gross.
Yeah.
They're like it's like foamy
like,
grossness. No.
That's like flavor saver. You keep them in your teeth and you still taste them.
No, man, no.
No.
All right, so age-old classic M&Ms.
If they were peanut, I'd give S. Those are coming up soon. I'll give these A. There's something classic about.
I'll go B. I think M&Ms are good. They're classic.
Well, here's my. Okay. That at least puts them above Reese Pieces. I could see that. I'd still say A though.
So we got 1A, 1B. What about you? Two A's?
Yeah,
they're
because
classic. There's nothing wrong with M&Ms. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you just want some milk chocolate, you could go worse.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I've never heard of this one. Zero Bar.
Zero Bar. I'm gonna say D.
You're the only one that has experience with them.
I don't think I've had one. If I have, it's been a long time.
They're okay.
All right. Well, Gamer says D.
Not my favorite.
All right.
All
So
yours.
what about basic? Oh, dude, we don't have an S yet. We don't have a universal.
There are some
top-tier
S's. There
candy.
are some S's coming up.
They're coming up, and I'm already all about it.
I don't think we're gonna get an S because I think we're all over the place right now.
We'll see. There's a few that I'll fight you for S, but we'll see.
I see a couple. Okay, so what about bubble gum? Basic freaking sticks of gum. These are F.
Well, how can you just group all the bubble gums together, man? Like every bubble gum's a little different. You got like the zebra stripe ones. You got bubble yum. You got Bubbazuka. Like I don't know. I don't feel like you can group them like that.
I'm just looking at the gums that are here. I ain't touching any of these things.
Too tiny. I don't know. Just C.
F.
Well, how can you just say gum is F? Like, there's not enough there to even go off of.
I don't chew gum, so.
I don't like chewing gum. Like, it's not like I do it all the time. Like, it's hard for me to even, like, compare gum to candy. Like, to even have it on this list, I don't even think it's fair. You need a gum list is what you need. You can't make it F. Like, it's gum. At least give it D.
What did you say, Gamer?
I like gum. I mean, I'm just, I give it a C because I just like gum in general.
I'd give it a C too.
There's different tiers.
So does that make it D or C if there's two C's, one F?
I mean, that'd be like a really high D plus. I would still argue C.
I mean,
all right.
Here's the thing: if you were picking one type of gum, and you could argue that one gum is really bad, okay, sure. But that's a pile of gum. There's at least some good gums in there. So
I guess.
Don't let your gum bias ruin our list, Chaz.
All right, we'll move on to the one I know you're excited about, the Andes.
Yes. Oh, that's an S. I'm sorry.
I've never had an Andes, so this is totally unusual.
Well, have you been to Olive Garden?
Have you been to Culver's? They use them in the ice cream.
And I'm almost positive that's what you get at Olive Garden at the end. You get those little Andes mints.
I know Dale's has some stuff at there. I don't know if they have them at Dale's.
I love Andes, man.
I would
eat a whole box of those.
See, I couldn't do that. Like, I think they are perfect, like, after a meal or something. They are, like, one of those perfect just after meal kind of things. I'm not a big mint candy guy. I'd probably give it a B, just consistently, but I do like them. Was it a
B and an S, so that's an A, right?
We could do that. I can live with an A on those.
All right, so I don't think I've ever had a runt either.
Oh, I've had runts.
They're not too bad.
Oh no, I think I have. I'm just seeing.
That's like the banana candy.
They're like roundish. They're all roundish.
What am I thinking of? That's like shaped like little fruits.
I don't know what that is. I know what you're talking about though.
Those are not runts. Runts are the little circular ones.
Okay,
yeah, they're circular. I know they're roundish. Oh,
okay. I'm not real big on runts then. Wait, no, runts are okay. Runts are shaped. They have like the banana ones. Most of them are circular shaped, but there's some banana ones in there that are shaped like bananas. They're supposed to be shaped like little fruits.
Okay. Cool.
I would say C?
I'm gonna give it a C.
Yeah.
Yeah,
D.
I would give it a C.
C.
Because I actually like them. They're actually pretty tasty, and if I see them, I'll probably eat them.
All right, so Laffy Taffy. Girl, shake that Laffy Taffy.
I'm not a Laffy Taffy fan. D. I can go
I'd
D
go
or F.
D.
I'm not a big taffy guy though, to be fair. So
So D, gamer.
D.
Okay.
If it's a strawberry one, I'm good. But if it's all the others, forget it.
All right, so you've seen these at all of your grandparents' house. Every
some good
Every
Werthers.
every Grammy loves Werthers. I actually love Werthers. For me, these are like a B, I think. I love caramel. So.
I'd give it a B.
What about you, gamer?
They're pretty good. If someone gave them to me, I'd eat them.
Yeah. I mean, I'm neutral. I'd go B or C. I mean, I like them well enough I could say B, but my heart would probably give you a C.
Everybody's grandparents has a bag of these in some corner of their house.
Under their pillow, what are you talking about?
They're delicious in some weird way.
They're not
Go
bad.
on.
Right.
Yeah.
So another thing you'll see at your grandparents' house is these weird watermelon
Hate
things.
these.
Those
Hate
are not
these.
Watermelons, dude. Those are strawberries.
Oh, same thing.
They have a weird shape to them, and it's like if those are the only things, it's like sure, but
They're all vegetables.
Well, what are these? Well,
I love.
what
I
are
love
these even called? Like, do they have a name? Like,
I don't know.
I feel like if the
Crab?
candy doesn't have a name, they shouldn't be trusted.
I think they're D.
Oh no, I would go F. These would be F for me.
So what do we got? What'd you say, gamer?
Don't care for them either. That's an F. Fuck it.
No. All right, I'm overruled.
Those no.
All right,
thank
what about basic Hershey's Kiss?
Hmm.
you. I like Hershey. I like Hershey.
These are like a basic C.
Those are B.
Oh, I'm gonna say I wouldn't even say A. Now, if they were the white chocolate ones, the striped ones, the Hugs, Hugs are S.
Ooh, yeah, those are good. But
All right, so we got in the
We
middle.
had an A, B, and C, so B. Okay.
Okay, so rounded out, we got now we're back to the normal Hershey's.
If this had almonds in it, man, I would bump it up to S. But as is, C. C or B.
I think they're D.
I like their special darks and stuff. Those are good.
I don't think they're D.
But
Like
for the
they're
regular,
it's good
for the
milk
regular-
chocolate.
I would say
I
a
don't
C,
think so.
man.
So two C's and a D.
I mean, I will go for a C.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're great. Marshmallows.
I love Mike and Ike's. I'm a huge fan of Mike and Ike's.
I might go S.
S. I think Mike and Ike's are an S. What do you think, gamer?
You guys like Mike and Ike's?
I
don't
used
remember
to
the
eat
last.
a lot of Mike and Ike's.
So we got two S's now. I guess you could combat it, but you would have to give it like
For us to
an
get
F.
S, we all have to agree on S, I think.
It's been a long
No,
time.
well, I think if he goes A, that still could mean an S.
No,
right?
I think we should. I think if we're gonna have a true S, we all need to be in consensus.
Okay. So, what do
So
you think,
if you're not
gamer?
there, gamer, it's okay. You can bring us down.
Yeah, I'm not.
Alright.
I just they're okay. Like they're like a B for me.
B?
I'm-
So that's an
yeah.
A, though.
Solid
Sorry,
A.
guys.
It's okay.
Sorry, guys.
Well,
Snickers are S. It's in the name.
Snickers are S. Snickers are an S.
All right. Well, Snickers are one of those things that you can't say no to. So yeah, that's an S.
Like that's the
in my
best when you get the little fun snack, fun size Snickers in your trick or treat bag. Like those, I probably will eat first.
They're the perfect, like
Perfect snack.
somebody in a science facility just like went to work on those things. Like it's the perfect amount of chocolate, perfect amount of caramel.
Just
You
enough
got
nuts.
the nougat, you got the peanuts. There's like, they're perfect. They're from the heavens. They
Sidebar.
came
How do you feel about Snickers ice cream bar?
really good too. I don't know. I actually almost prefer just throwing a Snickers in the freezer than when it gets.
You gotta make sure you pull it out soon enough though. When you get to like brick
if it gets
hard,
too
you
hard,
lose
yeah,
a tooth or two. So
Oh yeah, fair enough.
hey, we got an
Yeah.
S. All right.
All right, so I like almond joys, but I think a lot of people hate almond joys, which is interesting.
Sometimes you
Almond
feel like a
joys,
nut,
I would
sometimes
say
you don't.
like a B, but that's just me.
These are the ones that have coconut, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
the coconut and 2 almonds generally on.
I mean, I like them better than
like coconut.
Mounds, but I'm not a big coconut guy. I'd go like
Yeah.
C.
So B, C. What do you got, gamer?
I love coconut, man. I go for an A on that one.
B, so right in the middle. I agree. I like almond joys. They're weird because
I like-
like when I was a kid, I always remember everyone. These were like always the last ones people ate. So I don't know.
I think they're delicious. They
All
just
right.
taste.
So we got Baby Ruths now. I actually like Baby Ruths, but there is a form of it I like more that's on this list. Um,
I'd
I
give
would
it
say
a
these are C.
give them a B. I like them a lot, but I don't ever want to eat many of them. Like I'll have like one Baby Ruth a year, and I'll really enjoy that Baby Ruth. But I'm not
Mhm.
going to be looking to have another Baby Ruth anytime soon. So
Mhm.
I go B.
Yeah,
All right. So would you say
I would
B?
agree.
So B and C so far.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
What
B.
did you say, Phoenix? B.
I said B.
He did.
Okay. All right. I haven't had these ones. Caramel apple pops. I'm assuming it's a lollipop that tastes like caramel apple.
Yeah, I've had those a long time ago. I don't think I really care for. I'm not. I don't know. I'm trying to think if I recall the flavor enough to give a strong opinion on it. I'm gonna go C or D just off my gut
I
reaction, but
remember.
But well,
I'm gonna go with the D on that one.
okay.
I don't think
I
they
don't
were
know what.
especially good.
Oh, so Charleston Chew. This is another one. I don't have any reference.
I don't know if I ever had
Okay.
Charleston Chew.
So I really like Charleston chews, especially when you throw them in the freezer. So the reason
Ooh.
is because they don't come out when you chew them normally, they're obviously chewy. But on the contrary, when you throw it into the freezer, they're crunchy and they're freaking delicious.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
So to me, that's like like a freaking A or B because
Ah, well, it's up to you. A or B. You're the one deciding here.
Yeah, it's up to you, man.
oh okay. Well, I really like them, so A.
Okay. All
Like
right.
if you
So,
get a chance to buy them, put them in the freezer. You'll
mm,
yeah.
so basically, Mr. Good Bar. I have had Mr. Good Bar, and I remember it being very much like a Crunch Bar,
Well,
kind of
peanuts.
with peanuts. Yeah, it's chocolate just with some peanuts in there. I would give it a C.
I'd give it
I
a
think.
C. I feel like I should like it more because I like peanuts in my candy, but I don't know. Something about the tiny little peanut flakes, it just doesn't. I
Mhm.
like a good solid peanut. That's why I like Baby Ruth's, like just a nice big peanut. So I like nuts.
I bet.
Eh.
What? So,
What do you?
gamer, you're good with C?
Yeah, I'm good with C.
This is another one. I have no idea. I've never heard of Nico. This is like a nicotine candy or something.
What?
Necco? I can't even see that. Is it Necco or Nico?
That
It's
looks like
NECCO.
is that the ones that look like a little pellet,
Oh, it's a wafer.
like a Smartie look, like a Smartie
No, it's
type?
chocolate. He just said, right?
Well, it says
Wafer.
it's a Necco wafer. I don't know if I've had a Necco in particular. I'm not real big on wafers.
I don't think I've.
No, I don't know. That's up to you guys. This is all you.
Um, I mean,
Got it.
just on my experience with wafers, I'm gonna go like D. I mean, maybe that's a better
see it.
wafer.
Try.
Oh wait, is it a wafer? No, that's a Hold on. Oh, they're like tiny little wafer candies.
That's a
Oh, they look like freaking like Tom's like I don't know. I almost want to say F just looking at
little
them.
pellets, right?
They're like little circular, like colored wafer discs.
I've seen them.
I don't know.
No
Nothing
thanks.
about them seems appealing to me. I would avoid them probably at the bottom of the bag, and then may not even eat them. Pass them on to the next person.
Okay.
Straight
All
to
right.
the trap.
So, you guys okay with D?
D or F? I mean, maybe I don't have enough experience to confirm F. D's fine.
Maybe
Yeah.
you're right.
All right. These weird gum things. I hate these. These are F.
Those are
Oh, I like those. Oh, that's the gum I was thinking of. That's like the really
Stop.
super bubblegummy flavor, right?
I think so.
yeah. They're really sweet in the beginning, and all of a sudden they like lose their flavor.
They turn to
after
rubber pretty quick. I think because of that, I'd give them like a C. But I like the initial
Yeah.
flavor.
So I got
I like
F.
the
You got
initial
C.
flavor,
What about you, gamer?
I got C on that one too, so just make it a D.
Yeah, it could be a D.
Okay.
Because it's true, like they're good at first, but they drop down.
So I love
Yeah.
gummies. One of my favorites. I love Swedish fish. Swedish
I
fish are my jam. These are S
agree.
tier for me.
I mean, I hate the fact that they stick to your teeth, but I can't stop eating them.
I
Yeah.
love them.
If I find them in there in my bag, that's it, done. That's automatic S.
I'll say
but
S. Yeah.
Yes.
I,
Interesting. Okay.
yeah.
There's another classic. I love Amanda. If you gave me a whole bag of those things, it would not last more than 20, 30 minutes. That's probably why I don't buy them.
Well, I think it was weird, but it's like they're not really chewy. You can like just straight up just eat them, like the Swedish fish. Like I don't know, you consume them.
All right, so blow pop.
You know, I had one the other day for the first time in years.
Not good.
And you know what? I had a green sour apple, I think it was. And man, it was delicious.
Really?
Yes, I do not know why. I was like,
because I tend to be more of a Tootsie Pop guy. That's
Yeah,
just me.
I'm a Tootsie.
yeah,
Tootsie Pop.
I like both. But for some reason, I was tasty. I don't know. I
Blow
give it
pop. What'd you say?
I give it a C.
I'd give it a C.
So I'm gonna. Okay, 2C. I was gonna say D.
I think it's perfectly inoffensive. Like it doesn't taste bad, and at the end you get some gum, and I like gum, so you know.
And the gum is pretty good. Like they last for a little bit.
And if you get it just right, you get a little bit of crunchy candy in the gum while you're chewing it, so it's a nice crunch chew. So.
All right, so things I hate. I hate cinnamon and this fire
fireball.
stuff. Fireballs for me are like a F. These are things I would never touch.
I give some of that as a joke. I hate fireballs.
Yeah,
That's
F.
a F.
F. Okay. So, I like fireball shots, but I don't like candy.
Different
fireball.
context.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So I love Tootsies, and so what do you think about old school Tootsies?
Like Tootsie Rolls? Those are like the
Isn't that
flavored
what this
Tootsie
is?
Rolls, though.
Isn't this Tootsie Roll?
Well, those are like the fruit Tootsie Rolls, because you have Tootsie Rolls to the far right.
Is there? Oh, I see. Okay.
So these are like the fruit ones. I don't think I liked these. I would say like D.
I'm not familiar with these. Yeah.
I would. Yeah.
They're little fruit chews, but I don't think they compare well to other fruity, chewy candies.
Agreed.
And I remember Phoenix was high on these. So what do you
No,
think
I
about
was not
Yorks?
high on Yorks.
Are you not Yorks, or was
Andes,
it the Andes?
I was big on.
Oh, I
Yorks,
see.
I'd go D. You say F, Serrano? Or Metal?
I go to C with those because I actually like mint.
So we got one F, one C.
I said D initially, so we can go D.
D. Okay. Sounds like one of you are playing Battleship or something. It's funny. Someone's mic keeps going.
D24.
Yeah, it's not that bad. All right, so Fun Dip. I actually don't remember what these are.
I'm pretty sure these are just like little
one.
candy sticks you dip in like powder, right?
That's exactly what that is. So then you lick the fun stick and then you put it into the thingy, and you get all the delicious powder all over it. It's pretty terrible for you.
It's too much work.
Cocaine for children.
It is. It's pretty much pixie sticks with a candy stick that you have with it.
These are F. I don't even want to imagine eating one of these things. I feel like I have had one at some point.
They're pretty freaking good. My only problem is, it's just a bunch of sugar powder. Like, it's just no.
I would almost rather have a pixie stick. I don't know, like the effort it takes to go through it. Like the candy little dipping stick, I don't think really tastes all that good. It's just, a sweet, hard candy. If I'm really wanting just powder, I'll just dump a pixie stick in my mouth. So, I mean, if anything, this elevates pixie sticks for me. So,
Pretty much.
I would put them down F, yeah.
All right, now the classic Tootsie Pop. A 1, a 2, a 3. Where do you think it goes?
An A for me.
I like Tootsie Pops, man.
I would say A.
I mean, it depends, I think, on the flavor to a certain extent, but just, the general concept of a Tootsie Pop. I love it.
Yeah. I would say. Yeah.
All right. Now we're starting to get into a couple that I wish I would have gotten when I was a kid. Ain't nobody ever throwing me no roll-ups or fruit gushers when I was younger. I wish, but what do you guys think of fruit roll-ups?
Roll-ups?
I love.
Oh,
do you
dude,
remember the pull and peel or whatever where you peel the shapes out of them?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that's old school.
Do you remember the tattoo ones?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, that was terrible.
See, my problem with fruit roll-ups is you eat one and you're like, gosh, I barely ate anything there.
And it's a lot of effort. Like I always wanted to peel it out without ripping it, and then admire it, and then eat it like a ball or something. So yeah.
But when you eat it, it's like a thin layer of sugar, and it's barely anything.
I liked fruit by the foot better because I could stick in my mouth and just go.
Oh, I remember those.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
I
like
forgot about
a
those.
yard ruler thing. Just literally, I would like that better. I put those like an A, so I'm gonna say a B for a fruit roll up.
I would say C, but yeah. What do you think, gamer?
I would say B. So
Okay.
I really like those are good.
They do taste good. You're right though. They do feel like nothing once you've eaten them. But that just means you eat more.
That-
So
that-
you know.
Yeah.
So what about fruit gushers? For me, I'll say
Bro,
fruit gushers are an A. I love fruit gushers.
I grew up with those things. I used to like the explosions.
I would go C. I don't like the gushiness. I know I'm
You don't
probably
like
in the minority there, but
So what'd you say, gamer?
I mean, I like them. They're good, but just put them as a B for me.
B. Okay. Now what about Haribo Gold Bears?
After watching
Haribo.
freaking like used to watch it, eat them all. Oh gosh,
For me, I'd say these are B. I
really,
like B. Yeah, I like gummy bears.
I'd go D. I'm not real big on like gummy bears are just like they have a flavor but almost don't have a flavor. Like, you know, like they're very just blandish. Like they're not bad, and in a certain mood it's nice to have kind of a light subdued candy, but I don't know, if I would pick almost any other fruit chew over it, so I'd go D.
So A, or was it B, D, and what'd you say, gamer?
Yeah, like I like gummy bears, just not that's not like the first thing I would pick up. So I'm gonna put a D on that one.
Okay.
I like
So-
them.
So I'm just noticing our next one is Werther's again. So we had two. I think the one we
Is
put
that
up
the
in
hard
B.
candy?
I think this is hard, and the one we did before was like a soft version,
I like
just a
the
caramel.
soft version better.
So we're okay with leaving that in B. I think that's a good
I'd
spot.
probably leave that B. The hard ones I'd probably put it a C.
I agree. Put one step below. What do you think about gamer?
Yeah, I think so too. Like they both have the same flavor, which is nice. Just
I like
gotta
my
be-
caramel to be chewy though. Like I don't like hard caramels for the most, but they can be fine. But
Mm-hmm.
I
All
agree.
right. So Heath bars. I'm gonna stay out of this one. I don't remember having one of these.
I've only had a few, and I was never a huge fan. I'd say D.
D. Gamer.
They're okay. I would say a D as well.
Okay.
They're just another chocolate candy bar. Just
So what about Butterfinger? I'm always curious about what people think about, because I'm not a big fan of Butterfinger. These are like D for me.
I wouldn't go D. I can be in a mood for a Butterfinger. I would. My gut says B. I could see if somebody wanted to argue C. I wouldn't go a lot lower than that though. But my gut says B. In the right mood, Butterfingers are good. A little dry,
Okay.
but
I like how they go from like kind of dry to like kind of chewy.
mm-hmm.
It's like, ooh, that's
They're
pretty yummy.
great in ice cream.
I always get the flakes all over me. I don't
Completely
know.
agree. I like the flakiness. I think
I
that's
don't like the flakiness.
I'm
So
gonna
what do
go
you
with a
think?
Yeah, I'm
B?
going-
Two
yeah, 'cause
Bs?
they're
Okay.
actually tasty.
All right. So what about hot tamales?
F.
Yeah.
They're just they're Mike and Ike's just bad.
Oh, it's just, is there one note? It's just cinnamon. I'm already not cinnamon, so yeah, I'll go F. My wife
agree
likes
with
hot
F.
tamales though. She's weird.
Lemon heads. These are an F. I think these are more of like an experience candy where it's just like, oh, how long can I last?
I don't know. If I saw them in my bag, I eat them, but I give them a D.
So F D.
I was gonna say F, but I'll let a D slide. But I don't love them.
Okay. So the classic Tootsie Roll, the oldest candy ever created back when the cavemen were.
Did I hear you already
roaming.
say F? Is that what you said, Metal?
No, I said I'm about to go S on that one. 'Cause I really
Oh.
like Tootsie Rolls.
About to say
It's-
F on Tootsie Rolls.
Tootsie Rolls are a B for
And
me.
Tootsie Rolls are the boss. They're so
They're
yummy.
okay.
I'd probably
little
say B.
So two B's and an S. What does that make?
I'd say an A. I think the S can pull it up.
How do you have Tootsie Pop
Yeah.
in it? You have to have Tootsie Pop next to the Tootsie Roll.
Okay, yeah, no, that's good.
I'm okay with that.
Ooh, Jolly
All right,
Ranchers.
so I'm S tier when it comes to Jolly Ranchers. I love Jolly Ranchers. Especially the
I
pink
am like, that's my problem. It has to be a certain flavor. There's like half of them I really don't like, and then half
green
of them
apple.
I really like.
I throw away the green apple one.
Yeah, but does that make it A tier if you have to get rid of half of them?
Yes, yes, it does.
Ah,
S tier.
I
What
don't
do you guys
know. What's your
I
gut
don't know.
metal? I'm not at A. I'm in between B and C right now.
Yeah, I like them, just not all of them. I'm not a fan of all of them. There's only like a couple of flavors that I would really.
I feel like out of the 5, there's probably only 2 I like. So
No.
I'm gonna go C.
So we have an S, an A, and a C.
Yeah, I guess. Where would that
What is-
sit?
I'm sorry, buddy. I'm gonna go with the C on that one. Like this.
Oh, so that makes it
We can keep it a
kinda
B
hits
if
B.
you want.
Yeah, you can do B if you want, buddy.
okay.
I love you.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I don't hate you for the forever. All right, so junior mints.
I think I've
These-
always avoided junior men's. I don't know if I've ever actually had one.
I think they're D. They're like not the worst, but they're not great. What did you guys say?
I've got no opinion on this one.
I
Like,
say D.
I used to eat them when I was younger.
The box is too boring to
so
me.
D.
D.
D's.
Okay.
They're good.
Alright.
I mean, candies.
So what about ring pops? I actually don't like. I think ring pops are.
They
They're
don't
kind of-
taste that good. I mean, and they're a mess. Like trying to get the last little bit out of that little ring nub is a pain. Like
They're
it's
n-
way
they're-
too much
they're
effort.
just- and like, I don't know. I always feel like it gets on my hands. The
No
juices.
matter
and-
how you try, you start oozing
Yeah.
saliva on your hand. Like there's a novelty there, but I think in my heart I know it's
I
like a
think
D.
D.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I
They're kinda
agree. Like
gross.
they're good at first, but yeah, once it like you're right, they're kind of gross. And then kids, if you get kids, it gets tied. It probably gets tied in their hair and stuff. I don't know. Kids are the worst. All right, so
What is that?
another one,
Oh, is that
Payday.
Payday?
Yeah, what is that one?
That's
Payday
peanuts,
is-
right?
S tier for me. I love the salted peanuts and then caramel on the inside. It's heaven, in my opinion. I say S tier for Payday.
They really load. I remember Payday. They really load them up with a lot of peanuts.
It's if you love peanuts, man.
I
Payday's
feel like
really-
it's almost peanut overload for me.
It's not like a perfect peanut mix like the Snickers bar. Like it's like
I feel like, yeah, like Snickers are what I want most of the time. If I'm feeling especially peanutty, I'll go Babe Ruth.
No,
I think,
these are better than Babe Ruth.
well, here's the I think it goes too peanutty. Like, and I like peanuts. I feel like they just go a little too far on the peanuts.
Oh, you're wrong.
So you're saying S, Chaz. What are you saying, Metal?
I'm gonna go with a B on that one because I do like them. I feel that like if I had to choose between that and a Payday, I'm sorry, a Payday and like a Snickers, I'm sorry, that's
So S and B, what do you got?
I'm having a hard time putting it in the same category as
no,
a Baby
yeah, I gotta
Ruth
be-
for me. I'd put a C. I'm sorry, Chaz.
So S, B, C. So I guess that might be like a B.
Yeah, yeah.
What about Tableroni?
Toblerones. Tableroni.
it's a Toblerone, and I really like Toblerone.
I've never
It's
had one.
chocolate, and they have the white one, and they're fantastic.
I think I've
They
only
have
had one ever, and I really can't recall it well enough to say, so I'm going to
This is
defer to your judgment.
gamer.
They're so
Yeah.
good.
What do you got?
They're so good. I don't know, man. The Joy gets them all the time. I'm gonna say they're an S for me. I
What?
read them.
Oh.
They're really good.
Can one person?
I don't
put
know if we
one
can let
into
one
S?
person choose an S.
Yeah.
Okay, then let's do B.
A.
How about
Just
that?
do
we
A.
can give you A.
One step. Yeah, we'll give you A. I don't know if we can let one person say it's like the best of the
Nah, I
best.
think
of the
yeah,
best.
because I think that just means that it's not popular enough to. It brings it down a notch just based upon popularity. So
Yeah, we can't let you do a Men in Black Will Smith best of the best of the best.
the peanut
our-
M&Ms.
Peanut M&M.
S tier.
S tier.
That's S. That's
S
hands
tier.
down.
I agree. Oh, that was an easy one. That's one of
Yeah.
the easiest ones we've had.
I could use
I
some of those
agree.
right now.
What do you think about the pretzel ones? I think those are like C. They go way
Yeah,
downhill.
no.
Once you start
I
getting
would be fine never
crazy.
having them again, to be honest.
I
I
like your
agree.
tasty ones, like the ones with the little rice thingies in it. Those are
Mm.
pretty good.
Those are okay. The peanut one, or not peanut, the pretzel ones just don't do it for me. No.
I
Okay,
did
so
for a bit. They were pretty good.
oh, I'm just noticing there. Oh no, it's here. Okay. So what about Mambas? I've had these
I was just about to say,
before.
like the poor man Starburst.
I was gonna say poor man Starburst. Yeah. Um. So Mambas for me, I would say are like a C. They're mid.
That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm,
I'm okay with that.
no. I am excited for Starburst though. That's a big
Mm.
one. So Milk Duds. I actually am a big fan of Milk Duds. For me,
Is
these
it
are like a B. It's pure caramel. It's impossible to eat these things. You'll be chewing for 10 minutes trying to eat these things.
is it because the movie theater sells them all the time, so you used to take them and eat them all the
I
time?
did. I did. This is one of the this is one of the, this is one of the candies when I worked at Regal that I would always buy.
I'm a
I used
C
to
on
like.
them.
What?
I'm a
Oh,
C on
C.
them. Yeah.
So B, C. What would you say, gamer?
Um, I'd give those a B because
They,
I just hate the fact that they get stuck all over your teeth,
they get
man.
stuck, man. Those things
Yeah.
are.
Hard, and then you gotta pull your teeth apart.
I used to love eating them in movies because it's like, what else do I have to do other than watch the movie and try and get this out of my teeth the whole time?
I don't
That's
know,
one
man.
way to rationalize
Where
it.
it's at.
All right. So what about Milky Way?
Ooh, num nums.
It's like
I
a
like
D
Milky
for
Way.
me.
Anyway, that's a good like. I'm gonna say an A because I used to be really big on those.
So
I'd
D and
say
A.
B.
So that's a B, I think.
I could do
D
it.
A B.
Their Midnight Dark is so good.
I'm not big on dark chocolates. I think that's all for you, Metal.
I got problems. I can eat 100% dark chocolate.
To each their
It's
own,
pretty-
man.
Yeah.
So what about now and later? I feel like I've had these and they're like they're like a poor man Starburst kind.
I'd almost say F. I really don't like now and laters. Like the few I've had, I have not liked. Like the texture on them's a little off
They're
to
really
me.
hard.
I would say D.
That's fine. Yeah, it's D or F. I mean, I'd lean
What do
F.
you say,
But
gamer?
um,
D. What do you say?
I would go for a D.
D.
Yep.
Okay. Now, what about whenever someone? I never had this happen, but did everyone ever put an apple into your bag?
no, no one wanted to get their house toilet papered. So
I don't like apples, so
what?
that's enough for me.
I like apples. It's my favorite fruit.
Maybe if there's caramel on them or on them.
I like
How do I
apples.
rank that against candy though? Like I like an apple, but
I'll go D. I'll go one step up. It's decent.
I mean, I like apples.
I like apple pie.
oh man,
I mean, apples like
I like apples.
natural
Like,
sugar compared to like all this other.
there are
crap.
times I would
board.
choose an apple over some of these candies. Like I wouldn't choose an apple probably over a Snicker, but I would choose an apple over Dots.
Heck no. Heck no.
As a matter of fact, I'll take it a step further.
All right, just to be good to young people, we're gonna put it up there.
Oh no,
right?
it doesn't need to be on A or S. Let's not do that.
I would
Yeah,
give it
I'd give it a C.
But
middle
people
of
should
the
be
road.
incentivized to eat apples.
Oh no, let's be real with these kids.
Middle
Okay.
straight
Alright.
up, off the top.
So I think Raisinets are underappreciated. I love raisins, so I would say Raisinets are like a B. What about you guys?
I used to eat the whole box.
I don't like
I
raisins.
like Raisinets.
I know.
I'm biased,
I
so
What's
I don't
your-
think I
what's
can
your-
judge.
What's your raisin for not liking Raisinets?
It's too chewy. I don't like raisins. I don't know.
A 2B, and
I
what'd you
used to-
say?
I used to-
What did Phoenix say? We said 2Bs.
Oh,
and...
who, me?
Yeah, didn't you say B?
Me, I said it was too chewy.
No, but did you say a letter?
No, I don't know if I should vote here because I think just my bias against raisins is gonna skew this a little bit. If you like raisins, it could be perfectly fine. So I'm just gonna sit this one out.
I said B, and what'd you say, gamer?
Okay, I'm gonna go with B because I really like them.
Mhm.
That's another like thing you can eat while being in the theater and munch on them.
Is that a
But what about-
toothbrush?
What about toothbrushes?
Where's... What?
That's for like the one weird family that's like trying to send you a message that they throw in your.
You should
Don't
brush
worry
your
about it.
teeth. I mean,
That's for like
Yeah,
the
give it
one
an A.
dentist, the one dentist on your street.
You know what? I do agree you should brush your teeth on twice a day.
You know, I tell you though, I do tend to let my toothbrush go too long before replacing it. So sometimes it's nice when you're given that free toothbrush. You're like, you know what? It's time, and you get this
Don't kid
nice
yourself.
rough.
That toothbrush you're given is one of those cheap $2 ones you get at, I don't know, the dollar store. You get
Probably better than one I bought anyway. So.
I'm older, and my mouth is sensitive, so I gotta get like the $10 freaking toothbrush.
All right.
Okay, so Skittles.
S.
Now, Skittles are like B.
I thought we broke metal for a second.
I know. I'm starting to.
Brushes. It's so stupid.
I'm starting to zone out. Let's hurry it up here.
I like Skittles a lot.
I think B for Skittles.
And I say S.
I like Skittles.
So we're sitting in A territory right now. So, Metal, where are you going?
I like Skittles, man. I mean, that's like pure sugar. Just S.
So that could
wow,
be
so
A.
that's A? Okay.
They just come with all kinds of flavors, man. Like, they're so...
Now, here's the thing. It has to be the original, though. Like, you get those gross tropical Skittles or the smoothie Skittles. They are the worst. They would be like the low F. If I could have a Z, it'd be down there. But originals,
I like berry though. The wild berries and the originals are where it's at.
wild berries are all right, but original,
Yeah.
pre-choice.
Yep.
All right. So what about what are
Smarties?
these things? I mean, Smarties.
I like Smarties.
These are F.
I
These
like-
are go straight in trash.
I wouldn't put them in the I eat Smarties. I'd almost say B or C. I'd lean B.
My
I'm gonna
gosh.
say B because I really like Smarties.
Mm-hmm.
If I bag, those are like the second thing to go.
So that's like a C.
You could just take
It's
the
a
whole
C.
thing and just go. You could take the whole thing and just go. "Ah, done. You're finished.
Like a little
It's
conveyor
that
belt.
Oh yeah, like those are like that's like a better Pez. I'm sorry because like
Pez are one
They're
note,
just
right? You just
better.
get the one flavor. These, like, you don't want to eat them
Just
one
get-
at a time. You do want to eat like a bunch of them all
no,
at
you
once.
eat the whole thing, just straight up crack done.
All right, we're on the home stretch. Let's blast through. So
All right.
Starburst. These are S tier to me.
S.
That's
I love Starburst.
can't go wrong with Starburst.
So S tier, we all agree.
Agreed.
Cool. Now, these are the ones I meant to say.
These are the sugar daddies.
daddies.
What was the other one we mixed them up with?
These, the big something.
We
Big
never
O
figured
hair.
that out, did we? Oh, big O what? Okay.
I've still had these, and I think they're garbage. That's my opinion.
All right. Well, the sugar daddies are still hard caramels.
They're
to my
still
knowledge.
F to me.
Are they
I don't like
chewy
that.
or are they hard?
They're really hard.
I'm
They're
gonna
hard
go F.
and those are the ones I was thinking of though.
Ah,
All right, so
what-
candy corn.
D or F.
I don't know. I'd say like C.
Sorry, I can't stand candy corn.
They're too
Yeah.
waxy.
I can't remember
They
the last time I went on my way to get candy corns. Like,
I've definitely done it, but
I used to hate it when they used to put it in my bag. That was like the last thing I would just throw them away.
so
I just-
C and what else?
I had a D,
F.
he had a F, so we're at D
That's
territory.
D.
Put it that way.
Now, this is gonna be one of my other favorites. I love a Twix. These are S tier for me.
Is that a
Twix? Yeah.
tier? No,
Hmm.
that's next to that's next to Snickers for me, man.
Yeah,
Really?
I agree.
If I see that, those are gone, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I eat those and they're gone.
So
I-
two
I-
S's.
I'm not
I
going
s-
S. I'm sorry. To me, they're like Butterfinger territory. Where'd I
Really?
put Butterfingers? That ended up in B.
That at
You can
least
say
make-
A. You can say
Yeah.
A. They're not S for me. I'm sorry.
So Warheads. These are F. I don't like sour things.
There's only one flavor I like. I like the cherry one. But in general, they're not my favorite.
Okay.
I'll say D.
I'm gonna see. I like
That's a
warheads.
D. Last one. I
Whoppers.
think Whoppers are
Oh, I
underappreciated.
love
These are
Whoppers.
A for me.
Whoppers are S for me.
I could go A.
I
So
love-
two A's, one S.
Yeah, I picked one up in the street earlier. Actually,
Ew.
Gross. You should have said that.
it was in the bag. Let's get the hell out of here. I saw it. I was like, it's closed. Fair game.
I know where
And I
that
had
was.
'em.
I know
I
where
love
it was.
Whoppers. Where was it, buddy?
I'm not gonna say. It's time to go.
All right. So is that
All right.
our list?
That is our list. Hold on, I gotta put the mustache back on.
So
Where's
we
the
ended up
other-
with 4 S rank candies. How do we feel about where we ended up on those?
I think they're perfect. Those are all four of my favorite candies.
So we got we got good representation there. We have like, you know, a solid candy bar represented. We have a fruit chew, well, two fruit chews, I guess, and that little handheld portable snacky snack of M&Ms. So
Hmm.
that's pretty solid.
I feel like I'm pretty happy with all those. Yeah. Alrighty, guys. Well, that was our entire first annual Halloween special. Got to do a little tier list for you. Maybe if you guys like it, let us know in the comments. Maybe we'll try to do some more. But yeah. So, what do you guys have going on? Anything else you got going on? You watching any TV shows? Got any other games planned?
No.
No.
I want to continue the one that I was talking about earlier. I
Well,
gotta finish it.
next episode you can, yeah, if you want to finish off your thoughts on it.
Oh
I
yeah,
got
totally.
I got sucked back into Hades, so I'm just going down that rabbit hole again. So I'll be playing that for like another 2 months, just because. So I don't know. Maybe I'll find time to play some of the. Well, there are some games coming out. We're in November now, so we got God of War
God of
coming
War.
out. The new Pokemon, which
Mm.
I'm honestly more excited about Pokemon than God of War. It's just me. But, I don't know. Arceus really set me back into the Pokemon mood. So if it's close enough to the Arceus format, then I'll be down.
I didn't want to say it, but I am playing a Pokemon game right now. I started it on vacation. I'm playing what is it, Brilliant Diamond or whatever?
Yeah, I
It's
didn't hear
okay.
great things about those remakes.
It's alright. But yeah, I guess that was it. Just want to say thank you so much, guys. Down in the comments, we'd love to hear anything you guys got for suggestions for games, TV shows. What did you think about our tier list? Do you agree with these, or did you hate some of these candies? Yeah, as always, do you guys have anything to say before we head on out?
Nope. Happy Halloween for any time zone where it's still Halloween.
Yahoo!
Happy Halloween.
Yahoo! There's a block above my head. All right, guys. We love you. Thank you so much, and we'll see you on the next
No
episode
blocks.
or next Halloween. All right, adios, everyone.
See you.